only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above. Jersey Mike's would like to dedicate the next 3 seconds to our new grilled portobello mushroom and Swiss sub. Trust us, it tastes good too, because fresh ingredients make a sub above.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
The Dickinson Avenue Public House is a lively and diverse restaurant in Greenville that utilizes fresh and local ingredients. With influences of Creole, Asian, and upscale Southern cuisine, the Dickinson Avenue Public House offers a seasonally rotating menu and a full-service bar with rotating craft brews on tap. Come to the intersection of 8th and Dickinson and enjoy $1 drafts on Tuesday, half-price flights on Wednesday, half-price wine bottles on Thursday, and $1 oysters Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 to 7. For more details, check out their website at daphousenc.com.
The Wood Ducks are at Granger Stadium this upcoming week versus the Carolina Mudcats, June 21st through June 26th. Come out to Thirsty Thursdays and enjoy $1 natural lights. There will be post-game fireworks on Friday sponsored by WNCT Channel 9. Come out on Sunday for Dogs and Dogs Day with $1 hot dogs and bring your furry friend for $1. Go online to get your tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or at the box office the day of the game. Hope to see you at Granger Stadium cheering on the Wood Ducks all week long. Go Woodies!
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulf of Mexico, a huge 38-ounce lime margarita for only $7.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed.
I was trying to offer you the fact that this was more of a celebration of the year that was than it is.
We're on the same page.
Jesus. You are so testy.
This segment was going so good.
It was. What did I do?
I don't know who's more touchy-feely, him or Troy D at a tailgate.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
Hi.
Tabua.
Aub. What about Aub? Safula.
Cool, neat story.
Was that supposed to be funny? There's local politics, bud.
Don't go over the rules. It'll take forever. Let's just get to the draft.
Let's get the pumping.
I got a little taco meat on my chest.
It's gonna be fun. We in the thick. I mean, everybody gonna be loud. I'm gonna be loud with them. I'm screaming too. Like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. You ready for this? I am.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, let's get to pumping. It's a Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Welcome in to the program today as we set you off into your sports weekend. And we'll talk about everything going on in the world of sports and come up with some of our own stuff as well, because we are in a light part of the sports calendar. Thanks for dropping by today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250 and 930. You can find us online, pr927fm.com, and also watch the show on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Smash the like on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube for all of our videos. All right, coming up on today's program, we'll have a first timer on at 3:25. You've seen his work definitely on social media. He is everywhere. His name is Bill. Gotta be honest, I don't know the guy's last name. Chandler just calls him Bandana Man. You know him from 252 Buzz. He is at every sporting event, and that's, college, high school, your little league games, and does a great job keeping the community on up to date with what's going on, and also his awesome photos as well. So we'll talk to Bill, Bandana Man, 252 Buzz, coming up at 3:25. Get to know him, talk some sports with him. Has a Tennessee Volunteers background that we will discuss as well. So looking forward to that. He's a good dude. So looking forward to talking to Bill coming up in about 20 minutes. Later on this hour, we will talk to Brian North, WCTI 12. He'll join us. Our question of the week this week, when it pertains to ECU football, we're talking running backs. So we'll go back in the history of East Carolina running backs, give Brian North's favorites, and also covering high school football all these years, some of the best running back performances he's seen at the high school level. We'll get into that and more with Brian North later on this hour. Tony Dunn will join us in the 4 o'clock hour as we will talk NFL, see what news and notes, what happened this week in the league. Rob Gronkowski retired again. Does it really count this time? We shall see. The sad passing of Goose, Tony Saragusa. We'll hit on some NFL news and notes and also talk all-time Panthers running backs with Chan Man and Tony Dunn in the 4 o'clock hour. Also, we will go inside the anger management rage room coming up. We'll probably do that in the 4 o'clock hour while Tony's here. So got that on the way today. Morgan Ahlers joins us at 5 o'clock as we'll talk ECU athletics and more. And Mark Greenhelge, Golf Shop Radio Show, will join us in the 5 o'clock hour. He's got a program coming up Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Pirate Radio. We'll talk about last week's U.S. Open, the Live Tour taking players away, and Harold Varner III as well. And right now, HV3 got off to a good start to his Friday, but we got a bogey. So Harold now is +1 for the tournament, -1 for the day, but the bad news is the projected cut looks like it's going to be 2 under par. So Harold has a lot of work to do on the last 12 or 13 holes, as he is through 6 right now. And he is +1 for the entire tournament. Just had a bogey because he started -2. I think he was 2 under par for the day after like 3 holes. So got off to a good start, but has bogeyed since then. We'll keep an eye on that on the Buccaneer Music Hall leaderboard presented by Da Buck.
Da Buck.
Interesting. Didn't know if you were going to say that because I haven't introduced you yet. Chandler Honeycutt playing the role of Wes Hines and Shirley Rhodes today.
Hey, Clip.
Do you feel more like Wes or Shirley? There's no right answer or wrong answer to that question.
Right there in between.
What a spot to be.
Yeah.
Chandler handling the audio production today. CJ Schaefer on the 3s and 4s on the video production. Hello, CJ.
What's up, Clip? I like the shirt.
Thank you. Rocking the Cesaro shirt today. I didn't know I still had this, and I saw a big old bright red shirt in my closet. Swiss flag. Thought in honor of yesterday's edition of Are You Smarter Than Wes?
Yep.
Chandler,
Nice Israeli flag.
You'll Israel. You'll never mistake this flag again, will you, Chandler? Or have you already forgot?
I already forgot what it is.
You're lying. Are you serious?
I already forgot. You just said it, didn't you?
Yeah. But he, to his credit, he was busy. But he still should remember from yesterday that this is a Swiss flag, Switzerland.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's Switzerland.
Swiss. Oh, boy. All right. So, Chandler Honeycutt, Are You Smarter Than Wes champion from yesterday.
Hugh damn right. I'm smarter than Wes. Barely.
Barely. All right. Robert Matthews is in. He says hello. Hello. Chad says he liked it here. Now to YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, people. There you go,
Smash.
Chad. Let's smash it today. And Jennifer Honeycutt says, hey, y'all.
Hey, Mama.
Hey, Miss Honeycutt. If you would like to bring up a topic for us to discuss today on the program, you can do so on Facebook Live and on YouTube. All right. What did I didn't watch much sports. So the Braves won yesterday afternoon. College World Series, which I just started watching like on Wednesday. That was played yesterday afternoon. So really all that was going on, there was no Stanley Cup final last night. The NBA draft was going on. And I didn't flip over there at 8 o'clock. And I didn't flip over there at 8:30 or 9 or throughout the entire. I just said, you know what? This is a follow on Twitter, get updates event, and not a watch TV event for me last night. So I did not watch it at all. I don't want to hear myself when I talk live. I definitely don't want to hear myself while I'm talking.
You know what I did? I literally did it slow just to see if it would like come on. Like, and I was like, "Oh, there he is. There's that sound. There's that beautiful voice."
You're.
What?
I don't know, man.
Say it. I
feel like you have some intelligence.
Well, he won yesterday, didn't he?
He did, and also sometimes you're just like a bumbling like blockhead. I mean,
I appreciate that.
I know that sounds mean, but
you know my mama's listening, right?
Hey, Mama, your boy is a great boy. Love him. Wouldn't change him for the world. CJ, now Chandler, you said you watched the Hornet selection and that was it.
That was it.
CJ, you watched the whole shebang?
Yeah, I watched it.
All of it?
Mm-hmm.
Every pick?
I didn't really pay much attention.
But it was on.
Yeah. It was on the whole time.
Yeah. So a bit of a surprise, although I guess Vegas saw it coming because the odds were moving big time. I heard guys talking about it at Sports Trivia Wednesday night, how Banchero went from like plus 800 or whatever to be the top pick to like plus 225 by Wednesday night.
Quickly. I heard the Magic didn't even work Paulo out, so I don't know how they came around to suddenly wanting him, especially if he didn't come to your facilities or anything, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
Who was the front runner to be the number one guy? Was it Chet Holmgren?
It was Jabari
Smith for a while. Those were the top three clear guys, but it was Jabari for the most part.
So
and Holmgren ended up going what, 2? 2, yes. And then Jabari Smith went 3? Yes. Wow. So it kind of flipped.
Yeah. Flipped a little bit there. So Holmgren goes to the Thunder. I wonder if he's got one of those body. I guess I'm going to say he does. A frame,
it's like a stick,
where he'll always look like that. I will say Kevin Durant was very skinny when he came in.
His legs are still very skinny.
And he is still very skinny.
Yeah.
So, and it hasn't hurt him at all. So, I mean, Chet Holmgren can still, but Chet Holmgren.
You always worry about a player that looks like that, though.
I don't know if it's because he's like bright white fluorescent, then it stands out even more. But he is one of the skinniest people I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like Sean Bradley level skinny, but Sean Bradley was 7'6" or whatever. So Holmgren goes 2, Jabari Smith 3, Keegan Murray. Really like Jaden Ivey. He went 5 to the Pistons. All right, so explain to me like I'm 5. I'll tell you this. I will never attempt to understand NBA contracts or trades. I'm not apologizing for not understanding it because I'm not going to put in the effort to understand it. All I want to do
I'm right there with you.
is show up in October, sit in front of my TV, turn on the Hornets, and hope they win.
That's it.
That's my fandom for NBA basketball. I don't understand why. Like Charles Oakley probably still has a contract from the Bulls from 1997. Like all these contracts are crazy to me. They're foreign language, so I don't care. But Chandler, what did the Hornets do last night?
All right, so they get Jalen Duren, the former Memphis center.
Yeah.
Very lengthy center from Memphis, Jalen Duren.
Which I saw people were excited about.
I was very excited about that pick for Charlotte. And next thing I know, I'm hearing rumblings that he is heading to New York. And that New York traded with the Hornets to get him. Next thing I know, he's going from the Knicks, along with former Hornet Kemba Walker, to the Pistons. So now he's a Piston.
So when you saw that there was going to be a trade involving the Hornets pick and Kemba Walker, did you think Kemba was coming back? Like when I first saw it, I was like, wait, Kemba's back in Charlotte?
They're already working on a buyout for Kemba in Detroit. Now I would be lying if I said that I didn't think about that.
Troy is really struggling with technology today.
What happened?
3 minutes ago, Pirate Radio 1250 and 930 on Facebook put in the chat box, Jennifer Honeycutt, hey Miss Honeycutt, don't you think Clib looks handsome today? And then 2 minutes ago, Pirate Radio 1250 and 930 put, Jennifer Honeycutt, don't you think Clib looks handsome? And then
hey Miss Honeycutt.
And then 1 minute ago, Troy Travis said, hey Jennifer Honeycutt, don't you think Clib looks handsome today? Troy, 3 strikes. I mean, let's just hang it up, man.
Like, put it to rest.
Yeah, I mean,
just stop.
Yeah,
stop it right now.
But appreciate you tuned in. Good grief.
Good God.
Oh man, Dreyfus working the computer.
And how about this? Quit talking to my mother.
A lot of cardinal sins being committed right now by Troy D. All right, what were we talking about? Oh, last night's draft, the trade. All right, so the Hornets don't have Duran because they traded him, but they do get a big man, and they get a big man that we thought they might be getting all along.
Yes. Mark Williams from Duke.
Now, that was like a setup for you to say yes, and that player is Mark Williams.
Mark Williams. So
when we go live on the show today, we'll be talking about this, and I'm going to say, so the Hornets don't get Duran because they ship him off. I'm going to set you up to talk about who they get.
Mark Williams from Duke.
That was good.
Defensive Player of the Year in college last year.
All right, so let's do it real quick. Here we go. This is live. Are we live?
Yes.
All right.
He is such a...
So the Hornets don't get Duran. Some people are upset, but they do get a guy they thought they might be getting all along. Big man from Duke, right, Chan Man?
That's right. Mark Williams coming to Charlotte, staying in North Carolina. The very lengthy, I believe it has a 7'7" wingspan. Is physical. He likes to compete. He's coming to Charlotte for Michael Jordan.
He played for a good bunch?
He plays for a really good bunch. He has a really good bunch, and he is a hard-nosed. He's really hard-nosed. And
all right, Chandler, when we go live today, don't break into a Mike Houston when we start talking NBA draft.
All right, sorry.
Chandler, I did think it was funny that Mark Williams has the old cliche quotes after he gets drafted. Oh, man, it's such a fun group to play with. Like, this is going to be awesome. Love the gang here. I noticed he left out the cliche lines about can't wait to play for coach fill in the blank.
Well, that's because there is no coach, Cliff Rock.
There was something missing with his welcome to Charlotte introductory press conference. That was, I can't wait to play for fill in the blank.
Right.
So that was a little strange. And
there is no coach, and there continues to be no coach as they are still on the search for a new head coach. Is it Mike D'Antoni, or is it a guy that has already coached in Charlotte for the Bobcats and the Hornets, Steve Clifford? So we shall see. I saw some reports today on Twitter that Steve Clifford is now looks like might be the front runner.
Wow.
To be the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets.
that is exciting. Gotta tell you. A guy that's got fired by the franchise and fired by another franchise is coming back to coach the team.
Yeah.
The circle of life, failing upwards. Good stuff. Of course, they don't bring him in. They'll bring another guy that's been fired by 3 or 4 franchises.
Hey,
Mike D'Antoni.
Look, it was great to see that Michael Jordan was in the war room last night.
Oh, I didn't see. So who all was in there? I guess Kupchak?
Mitch Kupchak and Michael Jordan. I'm sure some other front office officials. So I don't know. I just saw the video of them calling Mark Williams to congratulate him and tell him that he's a Hornet. And the only 2 people I saw was our GM and our owner. So,
and that's the building right now.
Those 2 Carolina boys.
No Eric Collins.
Mark Williams.
He was probably outside the door screaming, trying to get somebody to let him in.
Let me in.
All right, worst thing to do after a draft is to grade the draft. So, CJ, I'm going to have you grade the draft. Who was last night's big winner?
We're waiting.
Who drafted Ivy?
Whoa, the Heat pulled a fast one. They got Nikola Jovic.
Yes, they did.
Is that just like, hey, if we draft this guy, he might turn into Nikola Jokic. Jovic, Jovic.
It's Jovic, though. They call him Jovic.
Jovic?
Yep, just like Jokic.
Damn, I would have drafted that guy just for his name alone. Anyway, what were you going to say?
The Pistons drafted Ivy, right? Because I got to go with.
Yep.
I got to go with him. I know he was a high pick anyway, but I love Ivy.
How did Cunningham do last year for the Pistons?
He's a good facilitator. His shooting is not good.
Well, that's not good because Ivy's looked at as a point guard. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter if that's your backcourt.
Yeah.
Because Ivy can score. He's a good scorer.
Then they got Duran.
Duran.
Well, Duran.
So, all right, maybe the Pistons got better last night. We shall see. All right, there's NBA draft. Who cares? Nothing else is going on. You guys,
I've got
especially like right now in June. I do not care about the NBA.
Look,
You're getting right off the.
Here's a
the
question:
finals.
what do you care about in the sports world right now?
Not a darn thing.
Can I give you something to care about from the breaking news desk?
Yes.
Kendall Rogers on Twitter says, "Transfer scoop: massive day for LSU baseball as LSU lands coveted NC State baseball first baseman Tommy White from the transfer portal."
Wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. And
LSU?
All I'd heard and all everybody probably had heard was Florida State, right?
Yes.
That's what I heard. As soon as he entered the transfer portal, Florida State was the first school I heard. Had all this NIL money waiting for him in Tallahassee. Instead, he's going to Baton Rouge to be with the family.
With the family. All right.
Family.
Attaboy, producer man. Good,
yes, sir.
Good job there, breaking news boy.
Good scoop.
Way to go.
Attaboy.
Good scoop by you to read it off somebody else's scoop.
Who was the source?
Kendall Rogers.
KR.
Yeah, KR. Old KR.
Oh, KR.
Should have known.
Shout out to Jacob Jenkins Cowart playing with the Burlington Sock Puppets. Had a nice RBI double last night.
I saw someone on Twitter say that there was two Pirates that had a double for that team.
Well, after the game, they were interviewing Ryan McChrystal, I want to say, Pirate catcher. So good to see them performing in the summer leagues. Big night for our Pirate alums in minor league baseball as well. Saw some Pack Burley highlights. I think Burley had a walk-off hit. We keep you up to date with what's going on with those guys on our social media accounts. So follow us so you can follow the former Pirates playing professional baseball at the moment.
I wonder how Jaden Winter's doing for the Crop Dusters. Crop Dusters baseball.
It doesn't matter how he's doing, but we're going to talk about that team as much as we can.
Yeah.
If you could get a Crop Duster report.
Can I get a Crop Dusters hat?
Oh, that would be cool.
Is it someone like walking by somebody with like some, I don't know.
Speaking of hats, little upset that. Oh, speaking of being upset,
oh my God!
I'll let you read that.
I don't even know if I want to read it. Chad Moore. Are you serious right now?
Shame on you, Chad.
What'd he say?
I have to say that Chandler's mom is kind of hot. Are you kidding me?
You need to apologize. You need to leave.
You set a bad precedent here, Chandler.
You need to leave.
Posting thirst traps to my mom, and now here we are.
This is karma. This is karma at its best.
Karma
form.
police. I can't even remember what I was going to say now because Chad distracted me.
Just threw the whole show
We
off.
were talking, about hats. All right.
Summer League, Crop Dusters baseball.
Saw a friend of mine who's coaching, what do they call it? Like, we used to call it Pee Wee back in the day before we got, and then we called it Bambino, and before we got to Little League. Is it like small fry baseball? I bet Bill will know because he's probably taking some pictures out there. Anyway, my buddy is coaching, and he is wearing one of the only people around here I know that can rival my hat collection.
Ooh, I know what you're about
He
to
is
say.
wearing a sharp UCLA baseball hat, but it doesn't say
It's
UCLA.
got a significant number.
It doesn't have a B on it. It doesn't have a bear or a Bruin on it. It has the number 42, big, bright gold letters. It is a light blue hat, and it just says 42 on the front. It's the Jackie Robinson 42 UCLA hat, which is a sweet-looking hat.
And which sparked an idea from you that I liked.
It did. Close your eyes, CJ. Picture a purple hat.
Okay.
On the front of that hat, big, bright gold 2 and 3 beside each other, forming the number 23.
Oh, my God. A LeBron baseball hat.
Wow.
Great idea.
You know why it's a great idea? Because people that are Pirate fans would buy it. Lakers fans would see it. They would buy it. Fashion people would want a purple hat to add their collection. They would buy it. People that are 23 years old would buy it. People born in 1923 would buy it that are 99 years old right now. Would buy it for their 99th birthday.
Hat.
Yeah, Flat Bill 23.
Yeah.
Everybody would buy it. I'm a little upset. Got not enough traction on Twitter, and I tagged Cliff Godwin, and he's yet to respond. So, Cliff, I don't know if you're ignoring the noise right now, but I'm going to need you. Maybe he's working behind the scenes on getting that done, because I want to see the Pirate baseball team come out LeClaire Classic weekend with the LeClaire jerseys and the 23 hat.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Are you okay? Do you need to sit down?
I need to take a break.
Yeah. Actually, we do, because we got to get to our first guest. Let's start that discussion. I want that 23 hat in circulation. I want it on the ball players. I want it on my head. I want it available for sale. All right. We will take a time out, come back. When we return, we will talk to Bill. He does not have a last name. He's like Madonna. Chandler calls him Bandana Man. 252 Buzz. He joins us for the first time on Pirate Radio Live when we return after these words.
Hello, Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,000 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. Pitt County Schools is currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. Come work for a diverse, thriving school system and be an important part of ensuring success for the students of Pitt County who are the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org, or go directly to our job postings at bit.ly/PCS employment. That's bit.ly/PCS employment. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student and every staff member every single day.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
For dine-in or to-go, Familia is your favorite place for great Italian food and more. Familia has just launched a new menu featuring new pizzas like the Sweet and Spicy and the Southwest Chicken. Every Sunday, you can feed the whole family with a buy one, get the second pizza half-price special all day. If you need to unwind after work during the week, stop by Wednesday for half-price wine, and Thursdays, all drafts are only $2. Familia on Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Make a splash with Bassett Triple Summer Savings from Bostic Sugg Furniture. Hot looks, cool styles. Kick back, relax, and upgrade your seats and save. Buy any regular price Bassett recliner, sofa, or sectional and get $50 to $150 off every additional seat with free local delivery plus 12-month special financing. Shop our wide selection on in-stock bedrooms, dining rooms, and other living rooms. And save the sales tax and get free local delivery now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Pirate Radio.
It's going to change. I promise you. As I stand here, it will change. Okay, and when it does, that stadium, it's going to be rocking, and heaven help whoever walks in there to play us.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Vacation spots are right here in our very own backyard. Take a trip to a state park and enjoy traditional camping, RV space, and also air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi. If you're by a lake, be sure to check out the opportunities to rent a canoe or a kayak and get on the water. Your next adventure is right around the corner. For more information, please visit ncstateparks.gov. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is your host, Cliff Brock.
All right, CJ, great job reading the ads this week in the absence of Shirley Rhodes. She'll be back with us coming up on Monday. It is Free Beer Friday, folks. So coming up hour 3, you can win a case of the limited edition For the Farmers John Deere Busch Light. We'll have them in the cans for you. 24-pack can be yours for each case sold during its limited run. Busch Light will donate $1 to Farm Rescue. You can look for these limited edition John Deere Busch Light beers at your favorite retailer today. Distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. The official beer of the ECU Pirates, Bud Light, and Busch Light is on the line today in hour number 3. All right, joining us in the Pirate Radio studios for the first time, you've either seen him around or you've certainly seen his photos and his information. He is Bill. Chandler calls him Bandana Man. He's 252 Buzz. Bill, do you have a last name, Bill?
It is Hudson.
Hudson, I knew that. Bill Hudson joining us. Bill, appreciate it, man. How you doing?
I appreciate the time and the opportunity. Good to be here.
So I'm a fan of yours, but your biggest fan might be my wife. Like the photos is one thing, but the information, every restaurant that's coming in town, every time construction's going on, she goes to 252 Buzz to see what it's going to be. And you provide an awesome resource for the people around here, not just sports photos and things like that, but everything you do. So first of all, how and why are you doing what you do?
Well, my wife and I, my wife produces all of the content that is written about the restaurants. We were in the newspaper business here for several years, and she had been writing about restaurants for 25 years between Greensboro and here in Greenville. And we just decided the newspaper business was not doing as well as we needed it to do so that we would be able to stay employed for a long enough time. We thought, let's just go try our own thing. And it's kind of evolved over time of doing, we were going to do social media for businesses, realized that's really not what we wanted to do, but we still wanted to create good content. And Jane writes about restaurants. We try to keep the community informed of what's going on. It's involved into a lot of photography of little league youth sports, high school sports, some ECU sports, whatever, and whatever will people want to see. But this is a busy little community with things going on all the time.
That's you're right. And I wanted to ask you about that too. Like a couple years ago, my daughter's running a 5K on a Saturday morning with the Creekside Run Club, and there's a bunch of groups out there, and you're out there snapping pictures. So how do you, we find out what's going on through you. How do you find out that stuff is going to be going on? I mean, you got to have a crazy calendar and process to figure out what you're going to be doing every day.
It involves a lot of community support, people getting in touch saying, hey, this is going on.
Reaching out to you.
They reach out to us. Some of it is, we stalk a lot of Facebook pages and see what's happening in the community because, like I say, there is a lot that happens every day in Eastern North Carolina and in Pitt County. So it's we will find out from a coach at a school or a parent. Somebody will say, hey, this 5K is going on this weekend with out at Boyd Lee, or I just found out last night there's a Babe Ruth tournament going on in Winterville this weekend. So we got the Greenville Little League City Championships going on tonight and maybe even tomorrow. So and then All-Star games start next week all around town. So it's always busy.
And you're putting out like Little League photos that look like they belong in Sports Illustrated in the 90s, to use an old person term.
Well, thank you.
There used to be this thing called magazines, and we'd get them and look at them. And
that's very old school.
But you've got these pictures, and they're awesome. I know. I mean, how many times have you been, complimented by a parent like for capturing a huge moment in their kid's life? I mean, that's got to be pretty cool for you, right?
Oh my gosh, it's very rewarding to know that hopefully a picture will be seen. And I joke with some of the kids sometimes when we're taking this photo will probably show up at your wedding day in 25 years.
Oh yeah,
and that's kind of the hope. Some of them are so young, they're like, oh, I'm never getting married. I'm never getting married.
Girls are gross.
But yeah. So it's you hope that some of the kids really do appreciate it, but the parents really appreciate it.
And so the photos you take and you'll post them on social media, they're available for purchase by anyone?
Yeah. And teams and leagues and schools can hire us to show up and to make sure that they get whatever coverage they're looking for.
Yeah.
We're kind of we're a very crowdsourced business where we depend on the community support to thrive and to be able to do what we do. The intention is to always be around because it's a very different kind of way of starting a business and trying to be a media company. We're not advertiser supported for the most part. We have a few sponsors that will say, hey, if you cover a lot of this, we would like to have our name associated with it, kind of thing. But we don't go out and sell anything.
Okay. We're talking to Bill Hudson at VolBill on Twitter. We'll get the background behind that name in a moment. But 252 Buzz. So where are you available? I follow you on Twitter. I know my wife is big on Facebook. So what all platforms are on?
We're 252 Buzz on Facebook, 252 Buzz on Instagram, 252 Buzz on Twitter. We're not real active on the Twitter. No real reason. It's just I tend to forget.
Yeah.
And then we have a TikTok now, but it's basically just taking the pictures and putting some music behind them. I am not a video person.
Well, Jeff Charles says, if you don't keep up with the times, you get left behind. You got to keep up with the time, and sounds like you're doing your best to do that, Bill.
We want to stay relevant, but it's and every now and then the kid will say, "Will this be on your TikTok?" And I'm like, I have no idea. Just depends on if I can figure out how to stitch it back together.
Bill Hudson joining us. So, VolBill, let's talk about your background. You are a Tennessee fan. Why are you a Tennessee Volunteer fan?
Graduated from the University of Tennessee a long time ago, right before Peyton Manning got there. But
Allen Houston.
I was there for the duration of Allen Houston's career.
There you go.
So the last time that I think that I even spoke on a radio station was pre-Allen Houston, when I called into a radio station hoping that the Tennessee basketball coach would be fired.
Oh, good. You're one of those guys.
Yes.
Do you call into the fifth quarter by chance?
I've never called into the fifth quarter, but I'm a loyal listener, but still not a first-time caller.
So you're a volunteer grad, and when did you come to North Carolina?
Got to North Carolina in the late 90s. I was working in the restaurant business, and the company I was working for transferred me to Greensboro, and was working there and enjoyed it. But my wife was writing for the News and Record. She came and covered an event that I was having at our restaurant, and we hit it off, and just things started to evolve, and we thought, let's just move to Greenville. And so we've been in Greenville since 2000.
We love our passionate, crazy Pirate fans, and without them, there would be no reason for Pirate Radio, to be honest. So we rely on the passionate fan base. Sometimes we feel like it's over the top, but then you look at Tennessee or other SEC schools or Big 12, and there's wackos everywhere. And how does it compare, in your opinion, the SEC fans and what you see here in Greenville?
I think football-wise, ECU is just as passionate as and pregame-wise has just as good as any other any SEC school in the country.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun to walk the tailgate lots and take photos and meet people. I think the support for that, it's incredible, and I don't think you would find. I think Ole Miss has a great reputation. I think it might be a little overrated. But I think ECU would be anybody that comes into Greenville will have a good time when tailgating, just like they would at any SEC game.
I like Brandon Walker from Barstool. He's a Mississippi State guy. They have an Ole Miss guy there, and they always argue about who is the worst, dumbest fan base in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get your take on that. Who is Tennessee's main SEC rival? First of all,
football. Old school. Since I'm older, it's going to be Alabama. Younger, probably if you're under the age of 40, you're probably going to say Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Worst fan base in the conference, and if people were just really objective like I am, they're going to say it's Florida is the worst fan base in the conference.
All right, there's the answer. The Florida Gators, and how about the ebbs and flows? I mean, there was a time, and people young can't believe this, that Alabama wasn't that good at football. Like it goes in trends since Saban's been there. It's been amazing. Spurrier kind of ran through it there in the 90s. Tennessee had their championship in the mid to late 90s, which was T. Martin, not Peyton Manning.
Right.
Surprised a lot of people. Do you remember that? But it does kind of ebb and flow. But man, the Nick Saban stranglehold has been something else.
Oh, it's even worse than when Spurrier had it. And it's like I have on my Twitter bio is I don't care who has the best conference because it doesn't help Tennessee. I only care about Tennessee. I don't care if the SEC goes 10-1 in bowl games. If Tennessee's that one loss, it's a horrible.
What does it do for you? What is it? Yeah, nothing.
I don't need. I preferred it better in the 90s when Alabama was. Alabama still won a national championship in the 90s, but they were a pretty average program for most of the 90s, and Tennessee won. Like 6 games in a row in the series, and so it was more fun when Tennessee was beating Alabama. And I don't care if Alabama's bad and we beat them. I enjoy that. Life is good when Florida and Alabama are really bad and Tennessee is good.
And we'll see if any. What do you think about Texas and Oklahoma becoming members of the conference?
I'm one of these, again, just being so old school. I hate it.
I'm with you.
I think it's not really growing up, it was a 10 school conference. Selfishly, I wish that ECU could figure out a way to get into the SEC because the amount of money that would come into this market. Because the SEC is still not in North Carolina, but the reason they have not been able to get into North Carolina is there's just not enough. There's not any money to the SEC, and it's all ESPN is looking for money and dollars for their TV contracts.
And kind of back to that conference thing that you were talking, like the brag about your favorite school is in a conference is so lame because like Rutgers got into the Big Ten because of where the school is located.
Right.
Like they did nothing to earn it. They just happened to be put there how many ever years ago, and that is why they're in a big conference. So, and I hear it with like NC State fans that the ACC and they look down on East Carolina. Like, well, you had nothing to do with that. State was just placed there years ago.
Right.
And like Bill said, because Clemson won a national championship doesn't mean anything for NC State.
No, it does not trickle down
unrelated
to anything.
So, anyway, VolBill joining us, 252-BUZZ. So, what is on your docket, your calendar on the upcoming, Bill?
Well, see, tonight, Greenville Little League City Championship Game 2. Ross won Game 1 last night, and so that they win tonight, they win the city championship and get their name on the cup, as the league likes to say. If Truist wins, then there'll be a Game 3 tomorrow morning down at Elm Street Park. There's some.
That's going to be the place to be tonight. That's going to be packed.
Definitely. Whether you've got kids or not, there will be several hundred people down there watching some Little League baseball. This weekend, there's some. There could be a Game 3 in the Little League City Championship, but there's also Winterville has a Babe Ruth State Tournament going on this weekend. I'm doing a lot of Greenville Little League All-Star team photos on Sunday, and then next week starts lots of Greenville Little League All-Star games between Kinston, Rocky Mount, and Greenville.
And you're doing this this community stuff. If people want to call you and say, "Hey, will you come to my event?" Will you do you do weddings? Do you do all kinds of stuff? Like, what do you?
I don't do weddings anymore.
Okay.
That is way too much pressure. That is the shooting sports. If a kid comes for Conley's coming in for a layup and I missed it, I didn't get a good photo. More than likely he'll come down a few seconds later. But there's only one first kiss and there's only one first dance at a wedding. So that's pressure, and I don't do pressure anymore. I do just keep the action coming to me, and I'll keep taking pictures. And but it's we do a lot of sports. We can do some business photography, some headshots.
So people can contact you if they want your services, and as the proof is in the pudding, you do an awesome job with it, and it's really cool how you and your wife keep the folks around here up to date on what's going on.
That's a good time.
We appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
And Bill, we'll have to do it again. We'll talk more football with you down the road. How do you think the Pirates are going to do this year?
I can see 8 or 9 wins. I think it's going to be a lot of fun watching that offense go out there and play, and I'm hoping to get NC State early enough, a noon kickoff. It won't be as rowdy as it could be if it was a night game, but I think that first Saturday in September could be a lot of fun.
All right, we'll talk more football with you as we get closer to the season. But Bill, thanks for joining us today, man, and keep up the great work.
Thank you.
252 Buzz. Bill Hudson joining us today here on Pirate Radio Live. We'll take a time out. When we return, Brian North joins us to get you ready for your sports weekend. We will talk to North on the Pirate Radio Live line when we get back on Pirate Radio Live after these words.
It's bow time. Our biscuit makers know a thing or two about scratch-made buttermilk biscuits.
Actually, it's 49.
That's right, 49 savory steps. So yeah, we know biscuits like the back of our hand. Because, well, these buttermilk biscuits are...
made by hand.
Yep, that Southern know-how is our bread and butter. And if you're still wondering what makes a Bojangles biscuit so good, well, just ask your mouth. Yep, that's what we thought. Come celebrate Bo's Buttermilk Biscuit Month with a scratch-made Cajun Filet biscuit. It's bow time.
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit GreenvilleAutoWorld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
We have some exciting news at Angel Oak Home Loans. This is Talbot Green, and I would like to introduce you to the newest member of our team, Braxton Green. I've known Braxton his entire life because he's my nephew. He is also a recent ECU graduate and has lived in Eastern North Carolina his entire life.
This is Braxton Green, and I'm looking forward to working with you with your next home loan or refinance. Give us a call at Angel Oak Home Loans today at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender. Winslow's Deli is now Fifth Street Hardware, restaurant and tap room. With a brand new look, Fifth Street Hardware also has a brand new menu, serving lunch and dinner every Tuesday through Sunday, and brunch starting at 10:30 on Sundays. What else is new? Well, how about poker every Tuesday night and Trivia Wednesday with DJ Captain Morgan? It's a new look and a new name, but the same great location on Fifth Street beside the State Theater. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram for specials and events. Fifth Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room.
The 80s and 90s were filled with obnoxiously loud styles. Dudes wore crop tops and super high shorts and rocked it with the confidence of 10,000 Sean Connerys and Tom Sellecks combined. And at Tailgate Classics, their mission is to bring that energy back. Locally owned and operated by ECU alum Cam Higley, Tailgate Classics has a unique line of vintage and retro tees, polos, jerseys, hats, and more. Go by the store today at 304 Evans Street in Greenville and check out their website at shoptailgateclassics.com. Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. If you're looking for wings to be delivered to your home, Wings Over Greenville has you covered with no third party needed. Wings Over Greenville has its own in-house delivery service. Be sure to try the all-new tender sandwiches by ordering ahead on the Wings Over mobile app. Open till 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, Wings Over has everything to cure those late-night munchies. Give them a call at 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville. They deliver.
This is Dr. Hasty from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as a walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar. Join us at the Rick House for mouth-watering steaks and made-from-scratch pastas. Check out the 16-ounce cowboy steak or the seafood delight pasta. Join us for our legendary brunch on Sundays from 10 to 2. The Rick House can feed your larger crowds with off-site catering and room for 125 in our adjacent banquet hall. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
This is ECU assistant football coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Yeah. All right. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Need some beer for the weekend? The Jarvis Street Bottle Shop near Christie's Europub is a specialty shop selling craft, domestic, and import brews, along with wine and growlers. The Bottle Shop offers monthly beer and wine tastings featuring rotating NC craft breweries along with live music and discounts. Stop by Tuesday through Sunday or check out the Jarvis Street Bottle Shop on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip Brock.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Ooh, Dodgers and Braves tonight.
The Dodgers!
Dodgers and Braves coming up.
I love the Dodgers.
Freddie Freeman back.
What would the abbreviation be for that?
Atlanta. What do you mean?
The
Chandler way to say it?
The Chandler way to say it.
Well, without a score bug right now, it just says la.
La.
When it's 0-0, it'll be Leo. Leo. Yeah, something like that.
Leo.
Glad we did that. During the break on Twitter, I saw WITN headlines, which, by the way, let me see if they've deleted this tweet from earlier today. They probably have. Yeah, they did. It just said, cute alert, meet the latest red panda cub, ! And didn't have a picture or a link or anything. Those are always funny to me.
I love those little, it's the tiny mistakes.
Yeah, because I want to be like, where? How? When?
Where is it at?
No information. There is now a link for it, but they posted this.
And that intern has now been fired.
Good. Deserved it. Investigators say Kevin Garris went to the home of Jamie Tyson this past Wednesday to buy drugs and ended in gunfire.
Oh my God.
And the guy, he's got one of the best mugshots of all time. He's laughing, smiling, having a grand old time.
It was me. It sure was me.
I'm guessing he was the shooter and not the shootee, or I don't know. But I guess my advice is if you get arrested, make sure you have a good looking mugshot because people are going to see it.
Good advice.
Well, look, I never got a yearbook picture in school, so I might as well get one right now.
Golly. Would you rather have your mugshot be trying to show some remorse for what you did?
I would have the puppy eyes
there's no way that guy did it. Or would you go all out and just laugh and smile like this guy? I don't know. Tough call. Own it.
Hey, you only live life once.
YOLO.
Who sang that song?
Drake, baby.
I still can't believe. And I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm like Mike Gundy. I'm a man. I'm 40.
You are a man, and you are 40.
For the listeners, he also did this earlier. He was singing Big Rings. I asked him who sang it. He said Drake.
He's been singing Drake songs all day. But yesterday,
I came up with the questions, and I was like, well, this is a fastball for anybody that's on social media at all. Because I'm not a Drake fan. In fact, the only Drake song I like, I didn't know it was by Drake. It was a walk-up song. Maybe Garrett Brooks, maybe not. It was years ago when I first started doing PA. And I was like, I love the first 20 seconds of this song. Who is this? And they said it was Drake. It's Trophies.
Oh, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Did everybody not get the memo? And I was like, oh, that's a good song. That might be the only song I know and like by Drake. But anyway, I am a living, breathing human that has social media, so I saw people talking about the Drake album last week, and I was shocked, Chandler Honeycutt, that you, a 24... How old are you?
I'll be 24 in September.
Soon to be 24-year-old man who's on his TikTok. He's snapping. He's gramming. He's
I'm
tweeting.
TikToking.
He's
I'm
YouTubing.
Instagramming.
Facebook.
I'm Facebook.
He's tendering. He's grinding.
Okay.
He's Ashley Madisoning.
Everybody pump the brakes.
Wow.
And you did not know that he came out with an album last week. Shocking to me. Explain yourself.
You know what? I'm so ashamed.
You know what happened? We were missing Patrick Mason to give us a dose of culture.
That's right. Our culture expert, Patrick Mason.
P Mace.
Who
I should have said, is it P Mace?
He had a family obligation this week, but says he will join us coming up next Wednesday. But he is our culture guy.
And he loves this stuff. He loves to have fun.
He does. He's a lover of fun.
Yeah.
And we like having fun here. But no, Chandler, that's certainly not something to be ashamed of. In fact, it's probably something to be proud of. Because you can say, you know what, I've been off social media. I haven't been paying attention to the trends.
Now, I dabble in the hip-hop world, but I'm more of an old soul, as you would say a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't... and I especially don't know the names of albums, but
sure.
I don't dabble a little bit for sure. It's a really good album. It's good. It's hard nosed, but
I see that's your new go-to from Mike Houston. Hard nosed,
and you have to rise to that level.
By the way, Ladies Clinic
tonight.
Going on tonight.
Had Amanda Houston and Jenny Shelton on the show on Monday.
And if you're a lady listening right now, or a man with a lady in your life, or a lady with a lady in your life, or a dog listening that has a lady owner, and maybe they're bummed out because, man, I forgot to register. Hey, it's fine. You can go over there right now.
Show up.
Show out.
We're having Ladies Clinic. We're having it.
Yeah. And you don't have to be pre-registered. You can go right now. I would go at 4:45-ish. Find a good spot and enjoy yourself. All right, youngsters. Favorite rapper of all time or rap group?
When I was in college, I really liked Little Uzi Vert.
Oh, God. I don't know who was. I know just that amount of names put together. He sucks. I can tell he sucks. What'd you say? It was 3 years ago?
No, it was three words.
Yeah, and they all suck.
Okay.
Little Uzi Vert.
Vert's kind of cool.
They some people call him Uzi.
We gotta stop with
Uzi.
Uzi's not
All
bad.
the girls call him Uzi.
You know what? It's Lil. We gotta stop with Lil.
Little Uzi.
There's Lil Wayne. There's Lil
Wayne's the
Lil
goat.
Nas X.
The goat of what?
He's
of Lil's?
No. There's a farm and there's a
you got a pig
There's
over here?
a field of goats and he's one of those goats. He's not the goat, but he's one of the goats at the farm.
I don't know. How about you, CJ?
Travis Scott, Logic, Mac Miller in that order.
Okay, yeah. This is really like how old you are, like who you like. Because
you like Grandmaster Flash.
I like the pioneers. No, I'm 90s.
If you ask me greatest of all time, I do say Jay-Z though. So I have
Yeah, but I asked favorite. I asked your personal preference.
I want to know Tony Dunn's.
All right, we'll find out. Homie.
What's up, homie?
Coming up in a little bit. I would go probably Wu-Tang Clan, which is almost not fair because it's like an all-star team of individuals forming together to create amazing metaphors and similes and rhymes. or Outkast?
Outkast.
Because they too both are very cerebral, and it's not this junk y'all kids listen to these days.
I like Coolio. I'm an old soul.
Is that true?
I do like his music.
You said you like the song Fantastic Voyage, and I said by Coolio, and you were like, no, the original.
Yeah.
You really are an old soul.
Yeah.
So that's
before Coolio.
Who's your favorite beach music group, Chandler?
Oh, man. Probably
Or
Band of
singer.
Oz.
Okay.
I like the Embers. Big fan of Craig Woolard and the Embers. I saw them multiple times in college.
I'm chairman of the board till I die.
Yeah, chairman of the board.
Till I die.
You got me dangling on the string. You can't go wrong with chairman of the board. Look, if I go off a beaten path, I might go Jim Quick and Coastline.
Whoa, easy, big fella. CJ, favorite beach music?
The Tams.
Do you know a beach music group?
Do the Beach Boys count?
Nah.
Dang it. This guy
over here. Come on. All right, you can tell we're in late June when these are the topics. We bring it up on Sports Talk Radio.
Look, I find this fun. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready for some ECU football and some more sports to be talked about. But this is fun. Music talk on Pirate Radio.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Tony Dunn, hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. He will join us on the other side. They got a lot more to go when we return after this.
Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of Pirates and ENC. Open 7 days a week from noon until 2 a.m., the Buck features live music every night of the week. Tuesday is karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday is acoustic night. Thursday is the DJ dance party. And Friday and Saturday nights, it's live bands. Check out the Buck's Facebook or Instagram page for more information. The Buccaneer Music Hall. We'll see you at the Buck.
We are back, baby. It's back. The Pirate Radio Football Kickoff Party presented by Bud Light is back on Thursday, September 1st. Before the Pirates host the Pack Labor Day weekend, Pirate Radio will once again be throwing the best party of the year to kick off the football season. And to help us celebrate the start of Pirate Radio's 20th football season, we're excited to announce that this year's entertainment will be the Breakfast Club out of Atlanta, Georgia. Enjoy your summer, and we'll see you Thursday, September 1st. We are Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is upon us, and I want to invite you to attend our CG23 Youth Camp here at East Carolina University. We will offer 3 sessions of camp. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium, and campers will get baseball instruction from the ECU baseball staff and players. Campers will play games each day, and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions offered. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. See you there, and go Pirates!
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank that's in your corner when you need them. This is Chris Richards from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Ashley Capps, Bonner Latham, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business, come and see one of our experienced team members at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Member FDIC.
Hey guys, this is Kyra from Postcode Junction in Washington, where all your shipping needs come together. Did you know Postcode Junction is the only UPS, FedEx, and DHL shipping location in Washington? Postcode Junction is also the place for your Amazon returns. Need to ship a package the same day? Want to avoid the long lines at the post office? Come see us at Postcode Junction by 4:30 and we got you covered. Postcode Junction on 15th Street in Washington next to Tractor Supply. Go Pirates!
Mow like a pro with Hustler Turf zero-turn mowers. They engineer their mowers to be maintenance and service friendly for the everyday homeowner while not sacrificing the build and cut quality they're known for. From the heavy-duty frame to the welded steel deck to their trademark smooth track steering, Hustler Turf zero-turn mowers deliver professional grade cut quality for a perfectly manicured lawn. Come into Ron Ayers Motorsports to see the Hustler difference for yourself today. Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
This is Stephen Igo. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local, print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is Cliff Rock.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. It is Friday. It is 4 o'clock. That means we talk NFL year-round on the show, which is going to be awesome in about a month and a half. When we get into August, when we get into camps, a lot of fantasy talk, a lot of everybody. August is better than September. August is my favorite football month of the year, and there's no games.
Hope is high.
Everybody's undefeated. Your fantasy teams are undefeated. You haven't lost your ass gambling yet. Everything's great. Tony Dunn is here. Hello, Tony.
Hello.
Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I think so.
In a way.
The excitement of the coming of football.
Yeah.
Fantasy football drafts are all around. There are tons of ways to consider the season for your own team and for individual players. And then what happens is, as soon as you play your first 2 weeks of football, it becomes this, like when you go on vacation and you get to the Tuesday. So if you go on a Sunday to Saturday vacation, about Tuesday, everything's great until about Tuesday. And then it becomes the countdown to, oh, this vacation's about to end.
Yeah, I got to pack up, make the drive home,
we only got
home.
2 more days.
Yeah.
Only 1 more day of vacation. So each week that goes by with football, you're like, oh, man, there's only 10 more. So we wait and wait and wait for football, and then we bemoan.
Boy, this season's flying by. It's already week 8. Yeah, that does happen. And there's nothing better than an NFL Sunday with all the games going on, and at times there's nothing worse because it's just a dreadful feeling when your team's getting their ass kicked.
Yeah, and then the other thing, if you think about it, it's kind of like with you pair ECU football with it, and it's also so awesome but exhausting.
Well, I tried not to bring my personal life into it, but after 12 hours here on Saturday, all I want to do is just watch football and not talk to anybody about it. And sometimes those days are ruined because my team loses.
Yeah, I feel then I got to do the post-game show. Then I got to
and then you do
the
that
podcast.
On Sunday. Sunday's your long
and then we're
day.
tweeting the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just, it turns out when you follow sports for semi-professionally, in my case, is that it actually turns out to be work.
Yeah, and the more it turns into work, the less fun it is. But we have fun Saturdays, Sundays. Football season is the best, and we're going to bridge that gap for you here Fridays on Pirate Radio Live. All right, any news and notes this week? We found out that Dan Snyder answers to no one, which that's got to be a pretty cool feeling.
Can you tell me some of the details of what's going on?
Not really, because I'm not paying attention to it.
Good. Okay. I'm not either. Are they like testifying before Congress?
Yeah, they're at Congress talking about the workplace culture of the Washington Commanders, accusations from women, sexual harassment, all that stuff. And the headline from this for national media was Roger Goodell saying he has no authority to remove Daniel Snyder as owner of the Commanders. And if you're Dan Snyder, I would go I was gonna say I would go harass a woman because I can. Because there's
got to be some like bylaws in the NFL
somewhere
about like how if a number of teams.
So I guess can owners remove an owner?
That's what it would have to be. There has to be some sort of laws in their whatever constitution.
You can't be above everyone, can you?
Yeah,
is he a god on earth?
Goodell's always. Everybody's known he's been a puppet. He's the guy that goes out there and takes the flak and takes the bullets for the owners. That's why he gets paid $80 million.
He gets paid a ton.
They love him. They love him. I get upset like that. This is before Congress.
I know.
Like it's like, come on, guys, you ain't got something better to do than worry about Dan Snyder and the terrible Washington Commanders.
They don't. I've been watching a lot of George Carlin lately, and I'm just like, I'm not. I guess if you ask me my religion, it would be the Church of Carlin. Like,
really?
Yeah,
you're into Carlin, these days?
And I'm very disenfranchised with everything.
I understand.
So that's kind of where I'm at, and I totally agree that this football stuff in Congress is an absolute joke. But everything is an absolute joke.
Yeah, it's actually right where it belongs.
Yep. Totally.
That's exactly what they should be talking about.
No other huge headlines. Unfortunately, a death.
What is going on? Multiple?
Yeah, Tony Saragusa. And did they have a current player pass away too? Jalen Ferguson,
25 years old.
Yeah. So the Goose one kind of hit me just because I was a fan. I remember him as a player, as the giant, jolly defensive tackle, and then
the great sideline reporter.
Him in a field where you usually put hot, white, blonde women there
was more attractive.
And Tony Saragusa's down there just gargling in the end zone in front of like the black hole was the best thing ever. So that was sad to see. Goose passed away.
There's a basketball player that died recently too, wasn't there? Did you see that he was a former #1 draft pick and then he got like super heavy?
Oh,
that was another crazy story. This is the terrible time of
Caleb Swanigan was his name, I believe, from Purdue. And he couldn't control his weight, I guess, and passed away.
Yeah, it's just sad. Yeah. Sad to see these things, is that sometimes we just get so focused on, can you get us to the playoffs?
Yeah.
How are you a good player? Did you screw up? I mean, we'll just, crucify people for screwing up a play, and then you realize, man, someone died. That these are real people.
That they are. Boy, this one took a turn.
Better than fake people.
Tony, let's talk Panthers.
Let's talk them.
First of all, what was your discussion Tuesday night on the podcast?
All right, our podcast is still continued Baker Mayfield rumors.
Oh, yeah.
It continues to be this discussion of, would you have a better chance of winning with Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, or Jimmy Garoppolo? And we put a poll up where there were over 158 participants, and Baker Mayfield won by 1 vote over Sam Darnold, which I thought was kind of crazy.
I do too.
I felt like it would have been so lopsided against Sam Darnold, but people were really like, hey.
And what a talking head parrot I am, Tony, because I'm going to say the same thing about Baker that I said last year about Darnold. It would be, you could find an angle where it's exciting, give Baker a change of scenery. Same crap I said about Darnold, although Baker has done more than Darnold did in his previous stop. You would have more reason to believe he could do it in Carolina.
And I think that a lot of people in our podcast have been saying that they're really basically the same players. And not everything about them like their traits, but that if you would have put Sam Darnold on those Browns teams, that he would have been a lot better. I think that's a woulda, shoulda, coulda argument, and I think this is Baker has had success in the NFL.
Well, here's
and
another
Darnold
question.
Hasn't.
What about if you put Baker with the Jets? Are they winning any more? I don't know if they're winning that many more games. But I do think Baker's better.
Yeah, and I think really where Baker's better is between the ears. Is like I think he's not broken. I think he has more confidence in himself. He can shrug off a bad play. He can shrug off the criticism. Maybe not shrug off the criticism, but use it a little bit. While Sam Darnold seems to be at the moment that kind of breaking point of where you're like sports psychologist or out of the league type thing.
I don't know if you want Baker because you've got young Baker waiting in the wings. I feel like Corral has the swagger and confidence of a Mayfield.
Yeah.
He's got way more swagger and confidence than the starting quarterback for Carolina, Sam Darnold.
Definitely. There's been another conversation floating around the Panthers Twitter, and that is a guy put up this he's from another podcast called the 4-Man Rush, and he put up that he believes Robbie Anderson is a better receiver than Ted Ginn Jr. was. And I thought when he first put it up, I thought this is ludicrous. I wrote you're tripping. So
why?
Well, because I feel like
in whose favor?
I think Ted Ginn on the first sight, I would argue that Ted Ginn is a more accomplished, better receiver.
When you brought it up to me, my first thought was Robbie Anderson is the superior receiver.
Really?
At first thought. And then when you factor in returns and other stuff and everything else Ginn did, it put him over Anderson.
Yeah, I've tried to eliminate the return game.
So you're talking just receiver.
That's what I've been trying to think about it with it. And this is kind of cool. I'm going to pull this up real quick. But
I want to hear your take on this too.
At first, I thought this is a no-brainer for me, is Ted Ginn had so much more success for the Panthers. He only played one more year. He only played 3 years for the Panthers, which is kind of interesting. Here are Ted Ginn's stats. For his career, he had 411 receptions, 5,742 yards, and 33 touchdowns. As a Panther, he had 134 receptions, 2,000 receiving yards, and 19 touchdowns. That's in 3 seasons. Now, where are the...
While you're looking, I remember us talking about him and how he started with Miami. But anyway, he went to Carolina, played well, got paid, went to Arizona, didn't do much at all, went back to Carolina and played well, right? He had 2 stints.
Right.
2 separate stints.
He left and came back.
And it was his second stint where he kind of was the guy for Cam Newton in 15, 16, I believe 17. The receiver room, I believe, either in 16 or 17. And I want to say it was 17 because that was the year that we went back to the playoffs. That was where
I think he was with the Saints by then.
Well, I think in 17. Well, maybe he was with the Saints then, but he was the guy. You had your Devin Funches, but Ted Ginn was the guy that he still had speed, even though it was in the latter years of his career.
Robbie Anderson stats.
He could go and get the deep ball. He had a lot of speed.
So Ginn was on the Super Bowl team.
Yes,
y'all talked about that.
So you've got Ginn's stats pulled up, right? All right. So
first of all, Ginn played. Good God,
it's like insane.
I didn't know he played that long.
Think of this: is that Robbie Anderson has only played since 2016, and he has 4,674 receiving yards to Ted Ginn's
5,700.
57.
So what was his high total? What's Anderson's high for yards in a season?
It was 2020, 1,096. Did Ted Ginn ever get 1,000?
He didn't. He had those 3 years, 2 with Carolina, 1 with the Saints, where he had over 700, and that was his best stretch.
And Robbie,
he had a 10 touchdown season in the Cam MVP year.
That's the big difference, is that he's got more touchdowns, but not even career wise. This is wild too. As a Panther, Robbie Anderson's had 28 career touchdowns. So think of this. What is 2016 to 2021? Was that 6 years? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 6 years. How many did Ginn play? Like 1 million?
13, 14.
And he only have 5 more receiving touchdowns than Robbie Anderson?
That's
wild. Yeah. If you take away...
Was the majority of his career being a return specialist?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, Ray Anderson's a better receiver. Ginn's a better football player.
Ted Ginn was like number one over. It was like a top 10 pick or
And
something.
at Ohio State, he was the man. He was a great college football player.
I mean, he ran back like his first kick of the NFL. Remember, was it in the college football championship he
I
ran
think
back
so,
a
yeah.
big one? He was awesome. I don't know. It's just really, at first, I thought, man, Ted Ginn was so much more accomplished for the Carolina Panthers. I'm trying to think, is it just that we were successful in that year that was there? Does that color it some? I think the touchdowns, he had 19 touchdowns to Robbie Anderson's 4 touchdowns in Carolina. So Robbie Anderson put up a lot of touchdowns in New York. But
Anderson's also doing the George Costanza where he's sabotaging his career and trying to get fired by the Panthers.
Yeah.
So he's probably not looked at in high regard by fans at the moment.
So I just thought that was a fun conversation. As you start to delve into it, you realize that like your first take might not always be as, or your first glance at it. But here is the problem. You can't take away Ted Ginn's return game.
Yeah.
Because if you do just say just receiver, but that was so much asset to him. And he really made a lot out of nothing sometimes. The problem with Ted Ginn Jr. is he just drops so many wide open passes. It would just be like 30-yard bomb drop. I mean, I remember
the jet sweep in the NFC Championship game against the Cardinals. Maybe it was a reverse, but he actually changed directions and went across the field. I think he ran about 70 yards only to get like 30.
Yeah.
And scored a touchdown. So, I mean, he was very versatile, especially when he got the ball in his hands.
I remember when this guy was we had just signed Ted Ginn, and this Miami fan was somewhere, and he goes, stone hands. Right. And I just adopted that for the rest of the time that Ted Ginn here.
What's funny is, though, if you went on a Cardinals, maybe not Saints, but Cardinals and Dolphins podcast and were praising Ted Ginn, they'd probably like trash you. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
This guy wasn't any good.
Because he was only good for the Panthers for 2 years and for the Saints 1.
Yeah. Out of a 07 to 20, we're talking about really 3.
I wonder why he just didn't.
But I really appreciate Ted Ginn, especially in that Super Bowl year, because I believe we brought him in more of as a specialist role. You have Kelvin Benjamin go down. You do have Devin Funchess there, but I think we had to push him into the receivers room more. And, I mean, what did you say, 10 touchdown catches in that year?
I think that season actually made him a pro receiver. Like, until then, if you look at the stats
or
and the career,
respected as a
or maybe
receiver?
even believing in himself to be one.
Yeah.
So,
Tony, let's talk favorite running backs real quick.
Okay.
All-time favorite Panthers running back is not D'Angelo Williams.
Oh, you brought this question up. You told me last week we were going to do running backs this week. So on the podcast we did, if CMC retired today, would he be the Panthers' best running back ever?
No.
And it's no, but it's like not that far away either.
But who is?
Tough. It's either Robbie Anderson. It's either Jonathan Stewart or D'Angelo Williams. And there's an argument for both.
Isn't he the leading rusher?
He is the leading rusher. But
this is before my time, but what about Davis?
I don't think he was there long enough either.
Only 2 seasons, I think. Yeah. And the thing about that is, it's one of those players like he's probably the greatest or one of the best running backs we've had, but not as a Panther necessarily. Like, he had that year that was just amazing for the Super Bowl and contributed so much. But like his real career was as a Red.
He had some monster years in Washington and drove them to the playoffs in '99.
So I think my vote was for D'Angelo Williams.
Now, this is not best. This is your favorite.
Oh,
so you're saying best all time would be D'Angelo?
I think so.
Who's your favorite all time?
Deshaun Foster.
I was gonna bring him up in the underrated category next.
I don't know.
You like him for that one play against the Eagles?
Yeah.
Which is one of the greatest plays of all time.
Man, like if you just want to feel better about yourself, if you're having a tough day,
he breaks how many tackles?
5 tackles. He ran 40 yards to get 1 yard.
Yeah.
I think favorite. I might even say D'Angelo. I know that
you kind of soured on him post-career.
Yeah,
you liked him as a Panther.
And when we saw him when he played in Memphis here,
he was a
ECU,
badass.
He was awesome, man. And so I was looking at this. If you look at, You know, he's got the most rushing yards for the Panthers in a single season. He had a 1,500-yard season. Christian McCaffrey's best was the 1,300-yard, but he did have 1,000
receiving, which is crazy.
What is wild, though, is when you go back and look at the best running backs of the past, they did not catch the ball like they do today.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Le'Veon Bell changed the game, or
We'll see what Emmitt Smith's most
Matt
catches
Forte
was.
changed the
Yeah,
game.
that's a good name.
Because
Well, no, you got it. Let's go
Marshall Faulk,
Tomlinson and Falk.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Because this is D'Angelo Williams had 1,500 rushing yards, but he only had 100 receiving yards in the whole season.
That's a game for McCaffrey.
I would like to look at also like.
Wow, Emmitt Smith had way more than I thought. He had a 62 catch season.
Oh, and that's a good one.
That's a lot. So
only 375 yards.
Right. I mean, it's still
just dump. I was trying to what was when Eric Dickerson got 2,000 yards rushing? What were his reception yards? Because I was looking at there's 8 players that have had 2,000 yards rushing. And it feels like they really just use running backs to run at one point.
I wonder how many CJ had in his year. So Eric Dickerson had 21 catches for 139 yards in his 2,000-yard season.
That's actually pretty good at yards per catch. But only 21 catches in the whole season for your best player.
Let's see what Chris Johnson had. Pro Football Reference is the best website of all time.
It really is.
CJ had 50 for 503. You want to talk about a year?
That
2,000 yards rushing, 500 yards receiving.
How many touchdowns?
He had 14, and you can add 2 receiving.
That's a heck of a year right there.
That's second year in the league. All right, so how about, what was the other? We've kind of
Chandler, what's your favorite running back?
Christian McCaffrey.
I mean, my favorite would have to be either, and you're going to hate me for this, probably D'Angelo.
That's what he said it too.
The clip hates you.
No, you said D'Angelo Williams is the best.
And he said it might be his favorite too. Tony soured on him at post career.
Yeah,
not while
I think
he
it was
a
once he put those footy
When did this
pajamas
happen?
on.
When did what happen?
The change of feelings for D'Angelo Williams.
When he started just like sniping back and forth with Panther fans, and then he goes to Pittsburgh and just starts talking junk about Carolina. And I understand, but it just was so sour grapes. And then he has this picture of him wearing footy pajamas, and I just couldn't get past it.
Yeah.
And he does weird stuff. Like, he's really combative and kind of whiny. It's his personality that turns out to be, but he also did, CJ, you like this? He did a wrestling day where, like,
Who did he wrestle with? Do you remember, CJ?
I don't remember who he wrestled, but it was in TNA.
And he did a good job.
He did that backflip off the ropes. Or
it was like a one and done thing, too.
Yeah, it was like genuinely impressive.
Yeah. So that's his personality thing, and it turns out that he was always kind of like that in the locker room too. You know, as a rookie, he was very brash, and but I guess that's what good players do. How about, can we ask this question to Clip and to CJ to get some teams that have a longer history? Who is your favorite running back of your?
Is Riggins yours?
No, I didn't get to watch him play.
Riggins, the guy that does the
Friday Night Lights.
Like the comedy stuff? No.
John Riggins.
Okay. What's the guy I'm thinking about that
You're
does
thinking
all
of Rob Riggle?
Rob Riggle.
That was classic Tony Dunn right there. I would have to go with Clinton Portis.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you named your Texas kid after
Clintus. Yeah.
Clintus.
Great running back, and you had the personality, too. And he beats out guys like Stephen Davis, who I probably wouldn't put near the top, but Alfred Morris for a time was my favorite because he went from nothing to
awesome,
the most humble, like just bruiser. He was. It's Clinton Portis by far.
Okay,
Clinton Portis, easy answer.
Mine, because of age, I mean, probably Le'Veon Bell. But if I was if I had a few more years on me, I would have probably said Jerome Bettis.
I mean, you've got some good options
with the bus. Oh, that's a cool statement right there.
Well, Willie Parker was late.
Oh, yeah. Willie Parker.
Is D'Angelo Williams your favorite?
Certainly not.
Yeah.
Was he not good for y'all?
I mean,
he led the league in touchdowns with the Steelers one year.
And I hate that
But it was like 11 touchdowns.
He
We
did
had
the
that at
curtain
Sports
call
Trivia
celebration when he got to y'all. He didn't do it when he was in Carolina. I love that celebration.
But D'Angelo was fun, right? Him and Stewart used to do some stuff.
Yeah,
they were
great.
Yeah. Final question for you guys: live game you went to, opposing running back, who torched you? Who? For me, it was cool when I went to a Washington game. Well, I saw Emmitt Smith, but he didn't do much. It was late in his career. But Frank Gore, watching him live was kind of different. You could see why he played all the years he did. It was cool.
I feel like I've seen Marshawn do pretty well against the Panthers, but it wasn't like crazy well because it was a 15-12 game anyway.
Did Reggie Bush ever do anything to y'all? He didn't have a great career.
Sproles might have done more to us than Reggie Bush.
Dangerous.
I think who else? Who else did we have? Tolbert. Who was the guy that went to the Falcons for a little while and had
the Burner Turner?
Yeah,
Michael Turner
had some good years. Trying to think of who.
Chandler, anybody coming to your mind?
See, it was a low-scoring game, 12-9. I went to a Panthers-Saints game on a Monday night in December of 2018, and Alvin Kamara, I feel like he had a big game that day. I went to a Bucks game, and I think Doug Martin was I just can't remember how well
Nobody really stands out.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara might be my favorite back right now.
He's my favorite non-Panther on a team that I shouldn't have a player I like.
Well, you rode him literally to a fantasy title.
It was glorious.
Yeah, so you got to appreciate him forever.
I've retired his
all right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Anger management rage room. Have y'all guys saved up some rage for the end of the week here?
Let's rage. And Tony Dunn, if you just during the break think about something that just makes you want to go crazy, it makes you so mad, makes you want to rage, so do that during the break. I want to hear what he has to rage about.
Okay. Chandler telling people what to do.
I like it.
I like it too.
I might rage about Chandler just taking over everything, producing, hosting. He's a guest. Like, you're wearing many hats today, sir. And I'm
raging about you wearing so many hats without actually wearing a hat.
I'm not wearing a hat.
I'm proud of you. Take a break, come back. More to go. Pirate Radio Live after this.
In studio with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. What's new, Jeff?
For service, we're doing touchless pickup and drop-offs. So when you pull your vehicle in, we greet you at the car and open the door for you, but we're putting plastic on the seats. We're having a steering wheel cover put on. We even have shift knob covers now this year. And then we have the customer actually drop the key in a baggie, and they're the next one to touch that key when it comes out of the baggie when they pick up their vehicle. So just want to make sure we take care of the customers that voted us number one.
Brown & Wood, your number one dealership in Greenville and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
If you have family coming over this summer, the last thing you need is sweaty relatives. Guarantee your air conditioning system is ready to keep everybody cool. Call Delcor. Buy a new train system and make no payments until 2023. It's hard to stop a train. With inflation and high gas prices, you don't need another payment. So buy this month and make no payments until 2023. Go to DelcorInc.com or call 252-321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Pirate fans, the 2022 football season is going to be one for the record books. East Carolina is coming off a 7-win bowl season, and 2022 is shaping up to be even better. The Pirates need you to pack Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium this fall with a great home slate that includes in-state rival North Carolina State. The American Conference schedule features home games against UCF, Memphis, Houston, and Navy. Season tickets are on sale for as low as $125. Get your tickets today by visiting ECUPirates.com.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Is it just me, or are we seeing more Major League Baseball players on the injured list this year? We'll have some thoughts right after this.
It's back. The Pirate Radio Football Kickoff Party presented by Bud Light is back on Thursday, September 1st. Before the Pirates host the Pack Labor Day weekend, Pirate Radio will once again be throwing the best party of the year to kick off the football season. And to help us celebrate the start of Pirate Radio's 20th football season, we're excited to announce that this year's entertainment will be the Breakfast Club out of Atlanta, Georgia. Enjoy your summer, and we'll see you Thursday, September 1st. We are Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Players are dropping like flies this year, and you have to wonder why. There are a dozen theories, especially with pitchers who, by the time they're in their mid-20s, they've already put tremendous stress on shoulders, elbows, biceps, and wrists for 10 years. And then with position players, many of whom are described as thoroughbreds, they break down. I go back to the old guys who smoked cigarettes, drank beer, didn't work out, and just played every day. They were expected to play every day. The game has certainly changed. Players just don't stay as long either for a career, or as we are seeing this year, for a complete season. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
This is Carson Wissenhunt, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on all our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. Join the over 56,000 followers today. That's PR927FM. Now let's head back into the show. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Tony Dunn here. Tony, who is your favorite rapper of all time?
Redman.
Interesting. Very interesting. These guys have no idea who that is. When I hear Redman, I associate him with Method Man. They did a lot of collabs.
They did.
How High was
maybe I like Superman
famous.
Lover.
All right. I'll have to go. I need to hear more.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Lil Dicky is not your favorite rapper?
He's a top 10. Top 10.
Do you have a top 10?
We don't have time
I could probably do that.
There you go.
Well, I mean, we got 13 minutes and no football to talk about.
I thought Tony was going to... I thought Ice-T might be on your list, and I think it's because you look like Ice-T now with the hair back.
It's more... They call me Easy T.
Mm-hmm.
Easy E. I'm a Ice Cube. Ice Cube is definitely in my top 5.
Okay, you're more of a Cube than a T. I would be as well.
Yeah. He's the best one out of all of NWA.
I would agree with that, although The Chronic by Dr. Dre is the best album out of anybody we've talked about so far.
It's pretty good.
In my opinion. All right, we are your station for culture here. We got to get Patrick Mason in here, our culture expert, next week. All right, let's open up the Rage Room because Tony has kids. Are they making your blood boil? Is work making you furious? Does your ex have you seeing red? Or in this case, your current wife?
Ooh.
There's a way to release that anger, and it's right here in Greenville. Let your next therapy session be at Anger Management Rage Room, Greenville's premier rage room. You can smash, bash, and destroy inanimate objects in a design rage room that gives you space to vent in ways that could create some issues in the outside world. For more information, check out Anger Management's website, angermgmtnc.com, and book your therapy session today. Tony, it's right down the road. Where's it at, Chandler?
Tony, I really believe your kids would love this place. And if you
I
ever
think my
want
wife needs it because I really drive her nuts.
your wife, your kids, maybe you, if you ever want to go to the Anger Management Rage Room, it's right here in downtown Greenville. In fact, we can walk to it right now if you wanted to. It's on Clark Street, right behind Pitt Street Brewery. So, yeah, I could totally see the Dunns in there smashing and bashing.
There's cars in there. You can break out the windows. You can smash the mirrors. You can do whatever you want to get that aggression out. So you can be more peaceful and calm on the outside world. Great place.
Interesting.
All right, Chandler, CJ, who wants to get it started today?
I'll go ahead and get it started. I thought about this. I remember in college going to the bars as a college student would. And, they're busy in there, but you're sitting there at the bar waiting for the bartender to acknowledge you. She finally, he or she sees you, makes contact. You're sitting there ready to get your drink order. All of a sudden, somebody comes up right beside you, and they go to them first. That's my rage.
Wait, you're upset about that?
No, I mean
that's a good one.
I mean,
he cut the line.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting there waiting for forever, and then finally somebody gets up there, and especially if they know the person.
You know what, Chandler? So I was going to ask you, but I know the answer because I know what kind of person you are. What if you were that other person? Would you say to the bartender?
I have done that. I swear
he was here first.
I was like, get him first.
Okay.
I do that.
All right.
Chandler's a good person.
If that's the kind of person you are, you're okay to rage about it, and I believe that is the kind of person you are.
I think the thing that makes you can. I'm with Chandler on this is because why they make that decision is important, right? Is it like you don't got enough cultural street cred? Like that other person got more street cred.
That other person's hotter than you are,
or they know that you're nice enough to take it. Can they read it on
They're
your
pushing
face?
you around. Nice guys finish last.
They're like, don't worry, he's going to tip the same dollar either way.
Nice guys get their drinks last.
Yeah.
You guys don't take that from these people, Chandler.
Go and smash a TV.
I wish I could go back to college.
You can still
he's
go
gonna
to a
just
bar.
line up pint glasses with a golf club.
Tony goes to bars every
I'm going
night.
to come in on Monday with a black eye and like a cast because I'm like, I stood my ground.
And
got my ass whooped.
And got beat up by a 110 pounds girl bartender.
Yeah, that's not good. All right. You had something else earlier in the week.
Oh, what was it? Oh, boy. All right. I got to rage. I got to rage. And CJ, you're going to be offended.
Oh, no. It's about Asian people?
No. No. People
that are from China.
People watching or listening might get offended. People who like their own post.
It's an extra like.
We're trying to push the algorithm.
An extra like?
It's
lame. What's that extra like going to do?
It's not a real
It's
like.
like giving yourself a high five.
Why did you say I'd get offended? Did you know that I do that?
No, because when you tagged me on that picture that one time, I saw it and I remembered it the other day.
So Chandler brought this up.
I said, CJ, I brought it up the other day.
He brought it up before this instance happened.
And when I brought it up, I was like, oh, crap. I said, I'm going to offend CJ because he does it. I saw him do it one time.
It's an extra like.
People do it on Facebook. Look, you're not the only one that does it. There's people that do it on Facebook. People retweet their own tweets. Come on, guys.
I certainly won't do that.
What are we
doing?
doing?
The retweet for like your own retweet could just to be like if you post an article, you get to tweet it twice, so you can that
That's
one.
that's different.
But now before I saw you do it, I saw people doing it on Facebook way before. Like people, I would go and.
You mean you don't take pictures of
John
you with
Smith
duck lips
like,
and then like it?
And then John Smith liked. You liked your own picture? How lame.
Lame, CJ.
Sorry,
don't do it.
It hurts. I only do this on Instagram. I don't do it.
Are you
going
to go do stand-up comedy and deliver the punchline and just start
and then laugh at yourself?
I'm going to be the first one to laugh.
That's actually a good one to rage at. Is people that laugh at their own jokes every time.
Yeah.
It's one thing. Every now and then you could get away with it, especially if you're trying to urge people to get into it. But every joke, I know a guy that does this. Every joke.
I hope you're not talking about me.
It's not you.
Thank you. Good. CJ.
I've got one conveniently about the Drake album. It sucks. It's really bad.
I haven't, man. The whole internet is telling you about this. or telling us about this.
Everybody knew but Chandler on
I see
yesterday's
half the
edition
internet
of Are
saying
You
it's
Smarter Than
good,
Us?
and they're lying. You get to a certain point, like there's a certain handful of musicians out right now. They could drop anything. They could fart on a mic for like 10 minutes, and everybody would say, "Oh, this is great."
I hate tribalism. I hate where if your sports team can do no wrong, your political party can do no wrong, your favorite rapper can do no wrong. It's okay to say
this isn't good.
This guy that I love put out something that I don't love.
If anybody but Drake would have put this album out, it wouldn't have been news.
If it was Jake
from State Farm,
it would have sucked.
It would have sucked.
All right.
Would have been pretty good for him.
Sounds more like you're raging against Drake's stands than you are Drake himself.
You know what? Yes, I kind of am. He's not perfect.
All right.
Oh, my rage, I got two for you. The first one is when you sit down with someone, say, like a family member you hadn't seen in a while or a friend you hadn't seen in a while, and they ask you a question about your life, like at the moment, like, how's work going? And they're trying to initiate this conversation, and they say, how's work going? And you go, well, this is what's happened, and they immediately stop listening. Mm-hmm. Why'd you ask the question?
Yep.
Why'd you ask the question?
This is why I was so excited for Tony to be in the Rage Room today, because that's good stuff.
It drives me insane because, like, you could just say, how you doing? Fine. That's all we wanted. If that's all but you're trying to ask an insightful question and then you don't care. I mean, what do they
do? Oh, so what do they do? They like literally turn their head away.
Like kind of.
They
like you
turn
can
the
see
chair.
them mentally. Yes. It's like, oh man, that's that. And then they're like, oh, that's great.
Oh, no one's listening
like,
when they say,
what's going on with the podcast? And you start talking about it, and they're like, I'm never going to listen to your podcast.
So, Tony, what you should do, and what I might do as a jerk in that circumstance, is just really keep on going. Like, never stop talking about it. Give them every small detail. And make them tell you to stop.
Hey.
You want to know? I got
back here.
Yeah.
Excuse me, you're interrupting over there. We got a conversation going on. My other is people that don't stand up and cheer at football games.
Nah,
especially in important situations.
Hold on. Are you raging against people not standing, or are you raging against people telling you to sit down? Because
Oh, no, I'm raging against people not standing.
Okay, all right.
Like, first of all, if you tell me to sit down, I am, as I'm getting older, like this person who's looking behind me to see if they're like, and I'm like, oh, sit down as fast as I can because I don't want to ruin their day, their experience.
Well, that's being a good neighbor.
Yeah, but I do think this is like, come on, have some fun.
You didn't pay to just sit there.
You pay for the seat, but not to sit there.
Right. Have fun.
There's some old, miserable-looking people in Minji's that sit a section or two over with their arms crossed the whole game. I'm like, are they having fun? Why
that clip?
Are they forced to be here? Oh, I get into the game, man. I'm into basketball games. I stand up. I get loud.
Yeah.
I shout. All right.
What makes you rage?
Oh, Section 213 be loud.
I don't think I have one. That's why I kept asking you guys.
Y'all don't have a rage? Come on, you're a
People don't recognize the flag of Switzerland.
The rage today.
I feel like Clip. All
right,
the guy that they had to make a positive tweeting clip because he was so pessimistic.
People that do victory laps and end zone celebrations over something that happens in politics, that is cringy to me.
Example?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Like if, say, something happens in the world of politics and they post, what a great day, and
like celebrating about it,
and point at the other side. It's like,
this reminds me of people that don't believe in global warming, and which I don't care if you do or don't, not a thing. But when anytime there is like a cool day in July, they're like, how about that global warming? And you're like, wait a second.
I guess it's just like, in that case.
What if should I message them every time it's hot in the 80s and be like, oh man, it's really hot in October.
I don't want to rage about that because it is, you can say whatever you want to, and like, nobody cares about the dumb crap I put on Twitter and Facebook. It's like, it's my thoughts, opinions. So
is it like a DB?
I don't want to shut down anybody.
Is it like a DB where there's a pass that's 10 yards thrown over their head and they get up and
kinda, but I just think theirs should be more couth. Is that a word?
Yeah, just enjoy.
Some things should be celebrated and taunted as fun. Some things should just be like, okay,
just be happy
that one went my way.
I totally agree.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but not a single politician cares about you. As a person.
George
That's
Carlin.
what I mean.
George Carlin.
I'm with you guys. It's crazy.
All right, Tony. Yeah. Have a good week.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me on.
Talk to you next Friday. Anger Management Rage Room. You can check it out, angermgmtnc.com. Book your therapy session today. Take a time out. Brian North joins us for real this time when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Go Pirates!
Everybody wants to get fit and get in shape. You don't have to do it alone. At Kinetic, we have certified personal trainers that will work with you on your customized workout plan to help you reach the fitness goals you always wanted. Choose either to work one-on-one or with a partner, or quickly burn more calories in our high-intensity fat-burning bootcamp classes while having fun with others at the same time. No matter your fitness level, we can help you get the results you want. Sign up today at kptonline.com.
The Wood Ducks are at Granger Stadium this upcoming week versus the Carolina Mudcats, June 21st through June 26th. Come out to Thirsty Thursdays and enjoy $1 natural lights. There will be post-game fireworks on Friday sponsored by WNCT Channel 9. Come out on Sunday for Dogs and Dogs Day with dollar hot dogs and bring your furry friend for $1. Go online to get your tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or at the box office the day of the game. Hope to see you at Granger Stadium cheering on the Wood Ducks all week long. Go Woodies!
When I need jeans, I order online because I know exactly what I want. They have just one moving part, and if there's something wrong, I exchange them. Buying a vehicle, especially pre-owned, is way different. Lots of moving parts. You don't want to get stuck. For a worry-free purchase, visit Phelps Chevrolet. We've been here in town a very long time. You know us. You know we stand behind everything we sell. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Come get you one.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey Pirate Nation, Warren's now has 2 locations, in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and the Chocowinity location next to the fire department. Stop in today for hot dogs, pizza, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity featuring homemade cheese, ham and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some. Go Pirates.
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit QualityEquip.com.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with RentAFishTank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. RentAFishTank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. RentAFishTank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at RentAFishTank.com.
Join us at Purple Blossom Yoga Studio, Greenville's premier yoga studio, for our wide array of classes, including restorative, power, hot yoga, and more. We even fly into the weekend with our aerial yoga workshops. New to our studio? Check out our special for new yogis. 3 classes for only $30. Check out our website or social media for all the information and up-to-date schedules at Purple Blossom Yoga Studio. Purple Blossom Yoga, where your health and mindset collide and help you transform to a new you.
Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. Go to YouTube and search for Pirate Radio TV and subscribe today. Watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the Bud Light pregame tailgate and the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show on ECU game days. Just go to YouTube and search Pirate Radio TV, subscribe, and smash that like button. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is Clip Rock.
My God, this dude right here, man. This guy just knows how to do it.
Read words.
Man. CJ, you're killing it, dude.
You can do anything with this music playing.
Woo! Chandler said, "Here comes funky guitar," and hit the song. And I tell you what, this might be the most aptly named song of all time. It is exactly. It tells you what's about to happen.
Oh, it's just called Funky Guitar?
I saw it and I said, it's about to be really good. So I had to let you guys know. I said, here comes Funky Guitar.
Perfect title for a song.
We got to do the whole show with
guys, we have to get to Brian North.
Oh, yeah. Joining us on the Pirate Radio Live line, WCTI 12's Brian North to get you set for your sports weekend. North, how you doing on this Friday?
Hello, Clip. There's nothing going on. I'll see you later.
There's the report for this hour. Brian, I was thinking about this, Brian, mostly because of your response to my request that you come on the show today. You're definitely my favorite unpaid, uncompensated guest we've had on the show for the last 20 years. Like Ryder Giles, who left the ECU program, has received more from Pirate Radio than you have in 25 years.
Yeah, that is probably correct. I did for a while. I was involved in Coupon Gate. I would get some for writing some articles back in the day.
Yeah.
Sometimes it turned out to be more of a hassle getting them and dealing with them. So
your issue is you're too far away. You're not here enough. If you would come in the studio, we'd be showering you with gifts, but we never see you. We only talk to you. So
I'd be fatter than I am now, which would be a real problem. So
well, don't worry. We have shirts that go up to XXL for me, so you're good.
I actually started venturing into Triple L territory. You know what? I remember when I went to 2XL, I was like, oh,
yeah.
Well, muscle. This is for me lifting, and then I quit going to the gym, and now it's like, oh, well, 3L's a little more comfy on these hot days. Let's try it. So.
Brian North joining us, always appreciate it. And Brian, what I tell you what, I'm looking for sports topics this time of year, and we're starting to preview football. We talked to Chris Haymeyer, who you know well. Talked to him yesterday, voice of the Campbell Fighting Camels. Talked to Harry Minium earlier this week from ODU, but starting to preview the opponents, also preview the position. So we'll talk a little Pirate football with you. But Haymeyer, man, he's been with Campbell now. He said 9 or 10 years, maybe going into year 11, something like that. Like, he's been there a while, and Mike Minter has been there a long time as well. And we've talked about this game for years, and it'll finally happen coming up this September. Campbell entering Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium.
First of all, Chris Haymeyer, now a late father in life like myself, did he have screaming kids in the background during the interview?
No, I think he must have a good deal set up where he didn't have to worry about the terrorist, as you call him, when he joins us on the show.
He's got twin boys who are now starting to crawl around a little bit, so he's I get the text every now and then from him looking for the old man fatherly advice of how to deal with a few things. So pretty proud of Chris. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Let's see. Kingston Indians, they folded 2010, and that's when he went to Campbell right after that.
Yeah.
So it's 2012, somewhere around in there. I'd have to go back and look, but no, he's been there a while. He's been the voice of the Camels. He teaches over there. He's done a great job, and I can remember when Campbell first started his program back up, and Chris used to go over there and help me cover the games. And so what Campbell has done in Bowie's Creek, from restarting football, no scholarships, building a stadium, to now being in a great conference with scholarships, and then getting ready to play ECU. It's just amazing to see how far that program has come in such a short period of time. And you look around the region, right? Old Dominion's done the same thing. Charlotte's done the same thing. You can even say App State's grown to Division 1A power. JMU's going to 1A this year. Marshall went from 1AA to 1A. So this region, Coastal Carolina didn't have a football team, and they've grown from nothing now. So what this region of the country has done football-wise to support all these football programs has been pretty amazing.
And how about Campbell recruiting right there with Primetime, Coach Prime at Jackson State, 1 and 2. Campbell, the second best recruiting class in the FCS. Chris might have said, I guess depending on who you look at, but credit to whatever Mike Minter and Pat White and that coaching staff have going in Bowie's Creek.
Most people thought when Mike Minter showed up, he was going to be lost out of his league, not know what he was doing, and then not be there long. You know, he comes from the Nebraska pedigree, and for him to come into a non-scholarship program and to stay there and build what he has done has been amazing. The patience he has shown. You know, I covered Mike a lot when he was with the Panthers and was an all-pro safety, and he was always the go-to guy in the locker room to interview, and he always had that passion and that fire. And I wasn't quite sure he would have the patience for the job, but he has proved me wrong. He's done a good job, and now you throw in that they have all the scholarship allotments. Well, that's changed the game as well. He's increased and bettered his coaching staff to help him do that. So I give Mike Minter all the credit in the world for building what he's built there in Bowie's Creek from nothing.
No doubt. Looking forward to seeing them on the field coming up this September. Also, our topic this week, Brian, we'll get your take on it, covering East Carolina athletics over all these years. How about we talk running backs this week, Brian? Do you have an all-time favorite? You're probably not going to just name one, so give me a few off the top of your head. Favorite running backs wearing the purple and gold?
Right. You always go back to who you started with. Yeah. Leonard Henry was such a great running back when I first came here and built those first 3 years with David Garrard and that dynamic offense. So Leonard Henry was one of my favorites, except for the 1 year he boycotted the media and wouldn't talk to us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was 1 year that Leonard just decided he didn't want the distractions. He wanted to focus on football, so he didn't do interviews until the very end of the year.
Huh.
And so that was interesting, but he had a heck of a year, got the cup of coffee in the NFL, played with the Miami Dolphins, and he's back in his native Clinton in Sampson County. He's been coaching and mentoring and pastoring there, but I can remember Leonard just lighting up a couple of teams and running over people. So he's obviously, comes to mind first for me. I wasn't here for the earlier days in the 90s when they had those great running backs. Who would be next on my list? I'm trying to think. Well, obviously, we can get the local guys who play for you as well.
Yeah.
So Jonathan
Williams
from J.H. Rose had a mercurial career where he put up great numbers, but missed 3 out of 4 bowl games in his career for behavior, which kind of summed up his career. So he was very memorable. So those are two that jump out at me right now. But as we start naming the names, Art Brown was one that would have some magic moments. Give me some other names here, and I'll always give you a memory when I hear them.
Well, of course, people went right to Chris Johnson. He was not my favorite on the list, but but that senior year he had was unbelievable. I went with Tay Cooper. I like talking to Tay, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher. I think 2 1,000-yard seasons in his very short time here. So I went with him. There was and then some older people went back to the Tony Collins, Anthony at the time, and Ernest Biner and guys like that. So it really does span over time. And like you said, kind of depends on when you were here and what you were doing. I had a class with Art Brown. I remember the program that year, Brian. It had Art Brown and Marvin Towns, and it had it said 2 1,000-yard rushers in the backfield. Yep. And that was unfortunately a John Thompson year, and neither one did anything. And so their growth might have been stunted a little bit.
Yeah. I'll give you a couple stories. Vontae Leach is another one that comes to mind, including fullbacks on that. And Vontae came in as a linebacker and was a good linebacker, but then Steve Logan was trying to buck the trend. That was a time when there was no fullbacks. Everybody went away from fullbacks and was doing one-back set. And Steve Logan said, I want to go back to a fullback since no one else is. And that's what he started to move Vontae into fullback. And then, of course, John Thompson took over, and Vontae made that into an NFL career that it paid pretty well for him. So you could throw him into the list. But I always remember Chris Johnson. First time he touched the ball at ECU, boom, goes 80 yards for the score. Always had that tantalizing ability, but just was inconsistent, would fumble. And then his junior year, I can remember Skip Holtz publicly talking about moving Chris Johnson to wide receiver just to try to fit his talents better because he just wasn't tough enough. And that challenge of toughness Chris took personally, and then he came back and he had that great senior year and, obviously, the great NFL career.
Brian North joining us. Brian, I always like asking you about local guys, too, but you've seen so many over the years. Do any running back performances stand out on a Friday night to you? I mean, you've seen hundreds, thousands at this point, but, what comes to mind when you think of great running backs here in Eastern North Carolina that you've seen live?
Yeah, Andre Brown from J.H.
Yeah.
was just every time he would touch the ball, he was electric at J.H. Rose. And he was another guy. He was an outside runner early on in his career. Everybody questioned his toughness, and then by his senior year, he was just running people over, leading Rose to a state championship, and then having a great career at NC State and ending up in the NFL. But
that's kind of interesting to hear because he got some checks in the NFL for being an up the middle tough running back.
Yeah, had changed it. When he went to NC State, same deal. He was great his freshman year, got the opportunity, but he ended up being that tough middle of the line running guy, and that's how he made his paychecks late in his career. So he had an interesting NFL career, moved around a lot, but the Giants is where he really kind of made a little bit of a name for himself. And so Andre was always electric. Montario Hardesty was another.
Oh, yeah, remember that name.
Every time he touched the ball for New Bern, he had the chance to go the distance. And, of course, he had the controversial recruiting career, originally verbal to UNC, then ended up going to Tennessee, had a really good career there. Another guy who played a few years in the NFL with the Cleveland Browns, but never kind of fulfilled that potential after a knee injury. But he was super dynamic as a running back. And I always remember this. Mario Williams was a backup running back his senior year, and Richlands, his main running back, got hurt, so Mario carried the ball a lot for Richlands. And when you have a 6'6" guy built like him coming at you through the line, no one wanted to stop him, so he used to run over people and was a lot of fun to watch as a running back. So that's a little bit different one. C.J. Wilson, another guy who ended up on the defensive line, was a running back at Northside High School, and he was so much fun to watch. I always used to joke C.J. because he was this big guy, bigger than anybody. He'd run over guys, but he'd be the last one to get up off the ground every time. He'd always act hurt every time he tackled. So he got to ECU and found some toughness in him as well. So some of those, I could probably go. The list can go on and on. Your memory gets jogged by certain things, but those are some of the ones. There was a kid, Corey Fisher, for New Bern.
Yeah.
When Montario was a sophomore, Corey Fisher led the team in rushing. He ended up going to Catawba and having a great career, but Corey was diminutive, but man, he was so much fun to watch.
I remember it. Was that Devon Drew era, New Bern?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that name.
Yeah, Devon Drew actually started the year as the backup quarterback, and by the third game, I remember it at New Hanover on the turf on a Saturday, they started Devon, and then he ended up being a great quarterback, leading them to their first state championship appearance. And you think about that game they played against Independence in that first championship, when you had Devon at quarterback for one side, you had Chris Leak was the quarterback for Independence, Muhammad Massaquoi on that team. There was several guys who ended up playing in the NFL on that team. And it was Montario Hardesty who fumbled it was a back and forth game. Both teams were scoring like mad. It was Montario in the fourth quarter who fumbled a kickoff, but then Independence flipped into a touchdown and ended up winning that game because of that. But I think there was 5 or 6 guys who ended up playing in the NFL from the two teams.
Good stuff. Story time with Brian North. And Brian, you mentioned C.J. Wilson in there, and I'm not saying you're old, but you're going to be covering him as a high school football coach this year, head coach. That's a little weird, right?
Yeah, especially being at North Pitt, because he's always been a Beaufort County guy.
Yeah.
Coaching is in his family tree. A lot of his brothers still help coach over at Northside and Beaufort County. But, CJ was doing real estate stuff in Charlotte. Next thing I know, Greg Watford has him helping out at North Pitt, and now he's the head coach all of a sudden. So I'm real curious how CJ is going to do with not a lot of coaching experience in his background.
Yeah.
But now he's thrust into that position, and North Pitt had done a good job rebuilding their team. So I'm real curious to see how CJ does there north of the river.
Looking forward to some Friday Night Lights coming up. Still a couple of months left to go, and the Blitz will be rolling back on your airwaves, Brian. You and Brett Kennedy, y'all started any talks on football season coming up in a couple months?
A little bit. I know it's less than 2 months away, the first game. So we've started. There's been some discussions. Sales likes to make their money off of it. So, but we haven't delved into it. I'm trying to enjoy a little bit of summer. I walked out of work today at 12:30. I did do the noon show today, and I walked out going, no football today. Like it was a relief knowing that it's coming, because this will be year number 25 of covering high school football in East North Carolina for me. And so, but it's a different challenge now, working the morning shift and then back in on Fridays, and having to say leave the girls and the family on Friday nights. It's been a little bit different, but it'll still be a fun challenge once it rolls around. But I say this every year, I'm in no rush. It'll be here when it gets here.
Yeah.
If somebody sticks another month in the summer calendar, it won't bother me at all. I embrace it when it's here. I'm just in no rush for it to get here.
Brian North joining us. Brian, anything with all the girls at home and things you got going on, anything in the sports world catching your eye these days? We're at a bit of a dead point here.
Yeah, College World Series is always, I like to watch that. I've been to Omaha a few times, and so once you have that kind of personal connection, you always kind of like to see who comes out on top with that. So you've got Oklahoma and Ole Miss, current SEC versus future SEC. So I'll be watching a little bit of that over the weekend. USFL, a lot of local connections in the playoffs this weekend for the USFL. With Skip Holtz coaching the Birmingham Stallions, Larry Fedora coaching the New Orleans Breakers, and they're going head-to-head, which they never did. They were at colleges at different times at ECU and UNC, so I find that interesting. Garrett McGinn, former ECU Pirate offensive lineman, playing for the New Jersey Generals.
Made the All-Star team this year. That's good for him.
Receiver. Yeah.
We were talking about this last week, Brian. How many? I said the over/under. I didn't know where to put it. I just threw out a number, kind of 7.5, 8.5. How many guys that played this USFL season will make a 53-man roster this NFL season? Any estimation on that? You think lower?
It'll be defensive guys. I'd say making the opening 53-man roster or plays this season.
That's two different things, right? Somebody could get picked up in October, November, something like that.
Correct, after they've had a little bit of rest, because it's going to be a short offseason for some of these guys right around. I mean, camps will be starting in a month, right? And so I'd say probably under 7, but I think as the season goes on, those guys will be on the radar, give them a chance to rest, and you can pick them up knowing that they're not that out of shape to get in there and start contributing and play right away. And that'll be more defensive players. It really has been, the USFL has been a little disappointing offensively. It's funny, I watched the Birmingham Stallions, and I'm like, well, that's Skip Holtz. Conservative offense and make that defense go to work. So that's it's funny that Skip, now coaching in the pros for the first time, hasn't changed his whole philosophy a whole lot.
Yeah, Brian North joining us. Brian, if the Live Tour called and asked you to be their golf beat writer, are you taking that cash?
Cash is hard to turn down when you haven't had it.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're one of these guys that do have it, Steve Logan always used to tell me, you can never have enough money. No matter how much you make, you can never have enough money. And so I understand the lure. Temptation is the hardest thing to deal with in life. And so I get it, but there's also prestige and legacy and history, and a lot of these guys are ostracizing themselves from that part of golf to chase the money.
It is very fascinating. It's almost like what's happened in college sports, where it was status quo for 100 years, and then you had sudden change with the NIL, the portal, but mostly the NIL stuff, and in golf, you just had this one league you watch every Sunday and kick back and follow the leaderboard. And now there's this new big guy in town that's throwing out cash to everybody. And it's fascinating to see how much has changed in a short amount of time here.
It really reminds me of the first inception of the USFL, when the USFL threw all this big money at all the big-name guys, Herschel Walker and Doug Flutie.
Because they were trying to go head-to-head, right, with the NFL.
They were playing in a separate year, but they were trying to get all the stars.
Oh, okay.
And so they paid Steve Young. They paid these guys this tremendous amount of money, or at least were going to. And a lot of these guys jumped, and that was the big question. It was, would the NFL let them play at some point? And they did. They recognized stars drive the league, and when they basically made the USFL go bankrupt, then they did take those players. This is different with this golf thing, because the PGA people are irritated that their stars are going and chasing this money when they feel like they've made a pretty good living for them.
Yeah.
So if the LIV, and I don't know what's going to happen, there's almost unlimited money with the Saudis, but at some point, if they're not getting a return on their investment, you pay Phil Mickelson $200 million and he plays horrible golf. At what point do you start making better financial decisions, and does the LIV last because of that? So I'm just curious, if the LIV doesn't make it, do those guys get welcomed back into the PGA Tour, or can they jump back and forth? There's a lot. It's going to be interesting to see how the hurt feelings play a role in this as the years go by.
Brian North joining us, solving all the world's problems here on this Friday. North, what you got planned for the weekend?
Well, lordy, my wife is turning an age she doesn't want anybody to know. So she is, we got birthday celebration Sunday. She's having a Saturday midlife crisis by going to, oh gosh, which one is it? Either New Kids on the Block or Backstreet Boys.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I can never keep them straight.
Yeah.
Not the Donnie Wahlberg group. That's next month. She's going to the other one tomorrow.
All right, New Kids is Wahlberg, so that means Backstreet is tomorrow.
Street Boys is tomorrow. So, yeah, she's having her little midlife crisis tour. So I am daddy daycare all day with the kids. So keep social services and and emergency services on your speed dial for that. And then what else we got going on this weekend? You know, just kind of hanging out, doing the honey-do list and trying to get things done. So it's just kind of relaxing this time of year. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, so we'll get outdoors a lot and try and do some stuff. But I'm trying to soak in these days because they're going to be gone before you know it.
Shout out to spouses out there, whether you are the male, the female, whatever you are, because what we want for our birthdays when we get old is, okay, yeah, we'll do a family dinner and that, but what we really want is to get away from the entire family and leave them and go somewhere for a few hours. So credit to you, Brian, for...
Yeah, for me, that's upcoming football season is when I have to work, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And we'll miss out on family time. But, yeah, giving the wife a couple of concerts here, or I shouldn't say I'm giving. She's taking a couple of concerts. I can't say a dang thing about it.
Yeah, you have no choice. So just you're there for the ride. So North, enjoyed it as always, man. Get the grass cut, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good, Clippy. Have yourself a good weekend.
Thank you, Brian. You do the same. Brian North joining us today here on Pirate Radio Live. We will take a timeout, come back, hour 3. We got Morgan Ahlers, we got Greeny, and we got a case of Busch Light for the farmers. We like to call it John Deere beer. And it can be yours if you're a lucky caller in hour 3. More to go. Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this. Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulf of Mexico. A huge 38-ounce lime margarita for only $7.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Hey, Chandler, what are you up to tonight?
Jenny, it's Tuesday, and I'm going to go sing with DJ Captain Morgan for karaoke at The Buck.
Well, that sounds like fun. I have to work. Well, what are you up to this weekend?
Well, believe it or not, I'm going to go listen to some live music Friday and Saturday night at The Buck.
Live music all weekend long, really?
Yep, all weekend, and they also have the biggest high-definition screen to watch all the sporting events on Sunday Fun Day.
I'm going to have to go check that out.
Yeah, just check out The Buck on Facebook or Instagram for all the information. The Buck.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is upon us, and I want to invite you to attend our CG23 Youth Camp here at East Carolina University. We will offer 3 sessions of camp. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium, and campers will get baseball instruction from the ECU baseball staff and players. Campers will play games each day, and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions offered. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. See you there, and go Pirates!
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business today, come and see someone on our team at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard here in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhells and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Volleyball players need to be able to jump higher, dig lower, and move faster. Our athletic movement program at Kinetic this summer is just for volleyball players at ages 13 to 17. It's a 6-week program starting June 13th where you will learn the secrets on how to be more explosive, how to get the ball faster, and how to serve with power. Team up with our sports performance coaches and other players to sharpen your athletic ability and take your game to the next level. Sign up today at kptonline.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and is the best place to watch our favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town, sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Tiebreakers in Greenville at Bell's Fork and in downtown Winterville on Railroad Street. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is Clip Brock.
Alrighty. Thank you, CJ Schaefer, Chandler Honeycutt. The gang's done a great job in the absence of Shirley Rhodes this week. She'll be back with us coming up on Monday. Right now, we will head out to the Pirate Radio Live line, talk to Morgan Ahlers, voice of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, Minges Coliseum, and sometimes you can hear him out at Clark LeClaire Stadium. He is Morgan Ahlers. Morgan, how you doing on this Friday?
I am doing fantastic, gentlemen. Good to be back on.
Morgan, there's been some Manning news this week. Arch Manning, son of Cooper Manning, nephew of Peyton and Eli, headed to Texas to play football. And when I heard the name Manning, it reminded me about the Manning Passing Academy, which Holton Ahlers is a part of this year as a, what do you call him, a counselor, a trainer, whatever you want to call him. And Morgan, that's actually...
they're called counselors.
Counselor, okay. And that's going on as we speak, right?
Yep, going on as we speak. Started yesterday. He flew down there early yesterday morning, and it started late yesterday afternoon. And they've got their first full day today, and then tonight, I believe they have a little quarterback contest and that kind of thing from the college quarterbacks that are down there. And then they'll go tomorrow and finish up Sunday morning. He'll fly back late Sunday evening.
Awesome stuff. He's got his own football camp coming up as well. Ladies clinic going on right now over at East Carolina. Mike Houston, ECU Football Ladies Clinic. So it's camp season, right, Morgan? I know it's a big recruiting weekend for the coaches over there as well.
Yeah, it is. From what I understand, they've got some really good recruits coming in, and the ladies' clinic's always apparently such a big hit with the Pirate fans out there. And of course, you mentioned Holton's camp coming up on July the 23rd. Still a few spots available on that. You can go to HoltonAglers.com and sign up. It's going to be out of D.H. Conley on Saturday the 23rd, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And again, going back to the Manning Passing Academy, it's kind of cool. The folks that again, haven't had much contact with him, but he'll send a text out to his family, and he said he's met a lot of good quarterbacks down there. I think he's rooming with some, and met Eli and Peyton, and they were walking back to their dorm yesterday, and the car stopped, and Cooper gave them a ride back. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool to.
I know his name's Cooper, but in the South, isn't it really called Cuppa?
They call him Cuppa. Cuppa. How you like the name Arch, Morgan? I think it's a cool name.
Well, it's named after his grandfather.
Yeah, they just left the E off and called him Arch.
I think Eli and Peyton have a couple boys that are coming up, and I think they're supposed to be not bad either. So, good breeding ground for quarterbacks down in southeastern Louisiana.
No doubt, no doubt. Talking to Morgan Ahlers here on the Pirate Radio live line. We talked quarterbacks, ECU quarterbacks with Morgan last week. Let's talk running backs this time. Igo and I did our preview. It was more of us just talking about old memories, because that's when you get older, that's what you do. You just talk about the past. And so we went over some of our favorites, Morgan. By the way, current running backs, maybe the best running back room we've had since the Skip era, or, if you want to count, I guess, Coop. But, man, we've got the two-headed monster of Raji and also Keaton Mitchell, and a lot of talent, unproven talent, but a lot of talent in the room, and a very talented room, I think, this year.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. It's you and I have talked over the last 5 or 6 years. I can remember, talking about this cupboard's bare. This room, there's not a whole lot. Mike Houston came in. They had to move Jeremy Lewis to tight end because they didn't have any tight ends. And now you look at about every room on the offensive side of the football, it's 3 or 4 deep. Offensive linemen, obviously you're talking 10 or 12, which is, for East Carolina to be able to say that, tremendous kudos to Coach Houston and his staff for putting this together. And they've taken advantage of the transfer portal. And I think they've got a great receiver room, great tight end room, offensive line, quarterback room, and running backs. And but you need 3 or 4 good running backs to get through the season, because you just never know who's going to get banged up, dinged up, and I think they got some talent there.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what they can do after a very good 2021 from obviously Keaton Mitchell, but Harris as well, and who else is going to get in the mix as the third back. That'll be one of the things to watch during fall camp, which, Morgan, is a little over a month away now. We're here in late June, so it is quickly approaching. Morgan, you've seen a ton of great backs inside Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. Who's your do you have an all-time favorite East Carolina running back?
All-time favorite back? I think there's 3 or 4 that are really good. I know there's been some great memories. I think Scott Harley, have put on a couple of really outstanding performances, and of course Chris Johnson, his senior year, what he did. You go back in days when I think it was Cedric Van Buren played in the Jeff Blake era. You had Tony Collins before that, really setting off along with Ernest Biner. There's been some really fun running backs. Leonard Henry is another one that just could really hit the hole and go. And then, again, you talk about now what we've got back there. And, you can have the best running back in the world. Another one to think about, Carl Lester Crumpler. I never had a chance to see Carl Lester play, but I've seen film of him. I mean, man, at 6'4", 6'5", can run like that and play like that. Just a tremendous talent. But for all the great running backs that we're talking about, you go back and look, their offensive lines were really good.
Yeah.
You can have the best running back there, but if he doesn't have that offensive line, he's not get a lot of yards most of the time. And those teams that these running backs really stand out. They had some hosses up front that knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, Keaton Mitchell was able to break some long ones, and a lot of that's credit to his speed. But it's no coincidence with the O-line improvements, and now Mitchell having a 1,000-yard season, first Pirate back to do so since Coop all the way back in 2014, 2013. So that goes hand in hand, Morgan, and it's another reason to be excited, not only about the talent in the backfield, but as you said, this offensive line coming along, which after we talked last Friday, did you see that picture floating around Mike Houston put out with all the O-linemen with their shirts off, the beefy boys, Morgan?
Yeah, there's the beef. It's funny because that came out, I think, Friday evening.
Yeah.
And we got together for my birthday, had my boys over here, and I showed Holly, I said, what's this picture taken? Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? And he said, look over there in the right corner, in the left-hand corner, Bailey Malabic was behind everybody. He said, Dad, how much you think he weighs now? I said, I don't know. 290, 300. Holt was saying he's like 320 something. This is the same young man that 2 years ago came in after COVID about 250.
Looking like a beanpole, yeah.
Yeah, Coach Big John and the strength and conditioning staff and what they've got these guys on, that looks like a big-time offensive line group right there. And it makes me excited, so I don't have to cringe all the time.
Yeah, as a dad, that
all the time.
I hear you. And I believe I saw, is it Big John's birthday? Shout out to
birthday, Big John.
Yes, sir, and he is putting in the work, doing a great job, strength and conditioning wise for East Carolina. All right, Morgan, what you got going on this weekend?
Playing tonight, Market Street Pub, starting around 10 o'clock down there tonight. Tomorrow, going to Goldsboro at the folks at the Birdsong Chapel. We're going to be doing a wedding over there tomorrow. And then Sunday, I'm going to be chilling like a villain and watch some wrestling maybe Sunday night.
What's Sunday night? Is that Money in the Bank? No,
it's I think it's the AEW.
CJ's shaking his head. Okay, AEW. All right.
AEW with the All Japan Wrestling.
Oh, the Open Door, Forbidden Door. Yeah.
Forbidden Door.
There you go. Good stuff.
And you got some hard-hitting guys coming in, so that'll be pretty good.
All right, sounds good. Morgan, thanks for joining us, man. We will talk to you again next week.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a great weekend. Be safe. Go Pirates.
Yes, sir. There is Morgan Ahlers joining us on the Pirate Radio Live line. Chan Man, let's open up the booty bag here on a Friday.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250. Let's do caller number 4 right now. Wins a case. Not a deuce, not a 40, not a 6er, not a 12-pack, not even an 18-pack. A case of John Deere beer.
Let's sing it.
John Deere beer on a hot summer's night.
Attaboy.
Thank you.
Attaboy.
You will win a case of For the Farmers John Deere Bush Light cans. It can be yours if you're caller number 4. We're back with more after this.
The only way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's, because authentic ingredients make a sub above. Jersey Mike's would like to dedicate the next 3 seconds to our new grilled portobello mushroom and Swiss sub. Trust us, it tastes good too, because fresh ingredients make a sub above.
America's favorite light beer, Bud Light, is also the official beer of the ECU Pirates. When planning your fun times at the pool, river, beach, or backyard grilling, be sure to pick up some Bud Light at your favorite retailer. Bud Light carefully brews their beer to be perfect for anywhere there is fun, because when there's fun, Bud Light is there. Have fun this summer, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar with daily specials. And here's the lineup. Mondays feature $7 margaritas and half-price appetizers. Tuesday is stuffed seafood night. Wednesday is date night. Thursday is roasted smoked lamb chop night. Fridays is prime rib night. And Saturday is Italian night and is also Fred and Wilma night with our 36-ounce bone-in tomahawk steak just like the Flintstones. And on Sunday, it's our legendary brunch from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Your office deserves a proactive tech support approach instead of always reacting to issues after the damage is done. You need BizCare. BizCare tech support and cybersecurity plans keep you ahead of potential issues and much safer from cyber threats like ransomware. What's at your office? Call William today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
Pepper, oh no they didn't! Papa John's just took their signature pepperoni and hand-stuffed it inside that garlic-kissed crust. Oh, now that's an epic pepperoni stuffed crust pizza like no mouth has ever seen!
Hey, Pirate fans, the Papa John's Epic Pepperoni Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza is only $13.99 and is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Pirate fans, the 2022 football season is going to be one for the record books. East Carolina is coming off a 7-win bowl season, and 2022 is shaping up to be even better. The Pirates need you to pack Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium this fall with a great home slate that includes in-state rival North Carolina State. The American Conference schedule features home games against UCF, Memphis, Houston, and Navy. Season tickets are on sale for as low as $125. Get your tickets today by visiting ECUPirates.com.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. And before we head back in, congratulations to Josh Thomas on winning a case of Busch Light. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is Clip Brock.
Hold on.
That's not just a case of Busch Light.
A case of Busch Light?
Let's let them know what it is.
Is that what you
Please
said?
do. Unfortunately, that is what I said. Could you inform me on what this actually is?
Absolutely. It's
John Deere beer. On a hot summer night, he rode Josh Thomas loves his wife.
And if you look at the YouTube analytics, suddenly everybody just clicked off the show.
Probably because you're here talking like this.
John Deere beer.
I've been duped.
Thank you, CJ. It was indeed Busch Light, but it is a special edition of Busch Light.
What is it?
For the farmers, John Deere Busch Light. A case of it is going to Josh Thomas. You can check it out at your favorite retailer today. Bud Light, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989, the official beer of the parts.
Of the parts.
Of the parts. I've got some great news. It
better be really good.
I did this interview with Mark Greenhelge 3 hours ago.
Wait, what? It isn't live?
Nope, it is recorded. At the time of that conversation, we needed Harold to make a move. As DMX, oh my God. As DMX said, he said that, and then he said, I gotta make a move and make it soon. I gotta take a block and make it boom. Harold made a move, and he made it soon, and by God, he is 5 under par. He is tied for 23rd, and he is going to make the cut.
Oh my gosh. He's back on track, Clip.
Back on track. So disregard what I say about Harold Varner III in this interview with Mark Greenhelge about him potentially not making the cut. What a run he went on at the Travelers. Let's hear from Greeny now as we head out to the Pirate Radio Live line. Greeny, how you doing?
I am doing great. Clip, how are you doing?
Hey, doing great. And following our guy, Harold Varner III, we start pretty much every conversation on Friday with you talking HV3, and it was a rough Thursday. It has been a better Friday. At the time of this recording, he's still got some work to do if he wants to make the cut. But at the time of this conversation, he is 2 under through 4 holes today after finishing over par yesterday. So trying to fight back, and projected cut looks like -2 right now. So he's got some work to do. He was on a tear, Greeny, as far as making cuts and putting together good finishes. I want to say it was like 4 straight months of tournaments played, I believe I read, where he made a cut, and now he might be trending the wrong way, trying to go not go back-to-back weeks missing a cut for HV3.
Yeah, well, in round 1, it was the same story. He lost, strokes putting, and that's essentially what's been his problem. I mean, he lost 1.6 strokes to the field putting, shot a couple over par. So, I mean, you look at it, if he doesn't lose that, he's even par, and then now he's 2 under, so he's on the cut line. So that's kind of been the bugaboo, but it also makes you wonder, too, because there have been some rumors that HV3 might be jumping over to live. They haven't been really pushed that far out there, but they haven't been pulled back either. So maybe some of this swirl going on is affecting him from a mental concentration standpoint. You never know. You
never know, and, money is the factor on all of this stuff, and Harold's making money from the PGA and in tournaments, but also he's got that Jordan brand logo, and that's a huge deal in all this too, right, Greeny? Like, can you keep your sponsors if you decide to leave the PGA and go to live? And I'm wondering, what's the truth about the Jordan camp and how they feel about it, and how much that would factor into a decision for a guy like Harold to make the move.
Yeah, well, I guess it all comes down to money, right? I mean, even if you lose all your sponsors, if you're Bryson DeChambeau and they're offering you $240 million over whatever, I don't know how many years it is, or Phil over 4 years and Dustin Johnson, I mean, they're offering you hundreds of millions of dollars, which is something that you could probably never make on the PGA Tour unless you're Tiger Woods. I mean, Phil Mickelson made a lot of money. Dustin Johnson made $75 million in just in earnings. So, I mean, again, you can't blame these guys because apparently at some point the money is enough, because even Scotty Scheffler said, man, I talked to Brooks Koepka last week and he didn't seem like he was going anywhere, and next thing you know, he's gone.
Yeah.
And, my major problem with this whole thing, Clip, is that, you got guys that have all said they're not going, and then they go, but then they don't answer the bell. They don't come out and say it. It's just like, you get sources say that Brooks Koepka is going. Like, dude, just stand in front of a microphone and say you're going. Say, I can't pass up the opportunity. I mean, there's no problem with that. You made your choice. But I think the problem is that these guys have all said one thing and done a different thing, and then they don't answer for it.
Mark Greenhelge, Golf Shop Radio Show, joining us. A lot of drama last week, and I did watch the end, saw Matt Fitzpatrick. His clutch performance there late in the U.S. Open had some drama. Will Zalatoris, both of them hit great shots on the green. Zalatoris gave himself a chance to knot it up there, and but could not hit the putt. But some good drama last week. It was awesome to see Matt Fitzpatrick, who I guess it was almost an identical picture of him winning an amateur, I believe, there in Brookline, and also him winning in Massachusetts last week. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, he becomes only the second player ever to win the U.S. Amateur and the U.S. Open on the same golf course. The only other, Jack Nicklaus, did it at Pebble Beach. And this is one of those things where you think about that perspective. And, I remember Matt Fitzpatrick when his first Ryder Cup, right? He played on the European squad. He was a young kid. He had a little bit of success on the European tour. And man, he just looked like an absolute deer in headlights. He was one of those guys that Matt Fitzpatrick's going out in that match. There's a point. Matt Fitzpatrick, he's got to play so-and-so in singles. There's a point for the U.S. Now you're thinking it's kind of the other way around, because he has spent a ton of time working on his game, and he has become a heck of a player.
Mark Greenhelge, Golf Shop Radio Show. Greeny, I mean, I am not a huge golf guy. You live it. You talk about it every week. How much do you guys talk about the mental aspect of it? You talk about a guy, deer in headlights, then he figures it out. But we've seen guys in their 40s, in their 30s, lose it and get the yips or whatever it is. Like famously, I think back to David Duval when I was, watching golf back then, about how he was on top of the world and then just lost it. So, if you knew the answer to how it happens, it could be corrected and we'd never see it. But it does happen to these guys, and it's an ongoing conversation when you follow golf, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many players that have, mental coaches. And, I never turned professional. I never got to the top level. I could go low, but it was always that thing in the back of your mind. Like, I was always waiting for that bad shot.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard to get by. Like, my miss was this bad, as a right-handed player, it was a ball starting right and going another 30 yards. It was just this horrible swing. And Larry Penley, the coach at Clemson, one time told me, he said, all it is, you get short in your backswing, right? Your backswing gets a little short. Everything gets out of sync. You're way out in front of it. It starts right, and it's a block cut. And it's like I always waited for that shot. And it's hard to mentally get over that sometimes. And, you see guys that start hitting a couple bad chip shots. The next thing you know, they got the chipping yips. Or, you can't get one in the fairway. And you see Jordan Spieth. I mean, Jordan Spieth went from one of the best, if not the best player in the world, to where, he was struggling to make cuts. And you've seen Hendrik Stenson, you've seen Lee Westwood, you've seen these guys be at the top, fall down to 300, 400, 500 ranked golfer in the world, and then they have to fight and claw their way back up. And it's just, it is a mental thing. It's a huge mental thing.
Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show joining us. Greeny, we'll talk golf throughout the summer, but also football. And earlier this week, we previewed the East Carolina running back room, a talented group. We spent about 15 minutes on that and about 30 minutes walking down memory lane talking about old running backs. It's always fun to talk about those. So I asked you about Clemson QBs last week. Let's talk some Clemson running backs. Who's your all-time favorite back there with the Tigers?
Terry Allen.
Terry Allen, former Washington Redskin. When I really first got into it, he had a great season for Washington. I think he led the NFC in touchdowns in the mid-'90s.
I mean, he was a very underrated back. I mean, he came out of a Clemson offense, and that's back in the Danny Ford days where basically you knew that they were running the ball. They very rarely passed it, and he was there when I got to Clemson, and he was a very underrated back. The second one would probably be Ronald Williams, kind of an unknown name, but man, he had some absolute great moves, and he was just an unbelievable back. I mean, I would almost compare him to like a little taller version of a Travis Etienne, and Etienne would probably be my third guy on that list.
One guy, Greeny, I wish was on your list, but just could not quite, stay healthy, put it together. I bet there was a time where you thought C.J. Spiller was going to be like the next big NFL back, right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember being at a game, the first game of the season, an opening kickoff, and they put him back to field the kickoff. He took it to the house. Like, first play of the season, he takes it to the house, right? And it's just, I think it was one of those things where he might not have just been big enough to be every down back, And I think when he went up to Buffalo, there was some expectations that he was going to be that guy, and I just don't think that he was built for that. I think he was built to be a receiving back out of the backfield, a guy that got limited touches, get him the ball in space, maybe put him in the slot somewhere and catch him on a sweep or something like that. I think if Buffalo had used him right, he would have had a lot more success in the NFL. But he's back coaching the running backs now.
Oh, for Clemson?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, and you're right. Maybe if he was 8 to 10 years later and the way they're using him now, he could have had a better NFL career. How about last week, Greeny asked you about a quarterback that you remember torching the Tigers, and you said Phillip Rivers right off the top of your head. Is there a running back that had a monster day against Clemson that comes to mind for you that you saw?
Let's see. I can't really think of anybody. I mean, it's always funny, that Herschel Walker, when he was at Georgia, as great a career that he had, Herschel Walker never found the end zone against Clemson. If you believe that. Never got in the end zone against Clemson. Now, he had some yards, but never scored a touchdown against Clemson.
There you go. There's something to hang your hat on, keeping Herschel out of the end zone.
Exactly.
Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show joining us. We'll talk golf. We'll talk football throughout the summer. Greeny, you're there, boots on the ground. Are you applying for the Hornets job, or are they ever going to get a coach there?
All I've ever coached, I think I helped a buddy of mine one time coach like middle school girls basketball.
All right, you're hired.
I don't think I really quite have the resume that they're looking for, but yeah, the coaches in Charlotte have just come a bewildering thing. I mean, the whole Matt Rule situation. I don't kind of understand why he's still here when they really haven't had a whole lot of progress and what's going on over that side, and then nobody seems to want to come coach the Hornets at this point.
The soccer team, or they fired their coach? Yeah.
Their team fired the coach. I mean, it's an odd sports dynamic from a professional standpoint here in Charlotte. So there's just kind of a black cloud over this entire city when it comes to this, and it makes no sense. And you almost feel like even when Matt Rule came in, I felt like that there needed to be a culture change with the Panthers, and I don't think it's really happened. And you had back-to-back with the Hornets, back-to-back blowouts in the play-in tournament for the NBA playoffs, and maybe that was a culture thing too. And I don't know, just maybe go out and find somebody instead of retreading some guys.
I agree with that.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Let's go get somebody. My Bruins are in the same situation, Clip. It's like, they let go of Bruce Cassidy, and it's like, let's go. Either you're going to go with Joe Sacco, who was on the bench as an assistant coach who stepped in and won a bunch of games when Cassidy had COVID-19, or you go find somebody that's going to bring some fresh new ideas to your team. So do one thing or the other at this point.
Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show. Greeny, who's on the guest list, and what are the topics for Saturday's edition of the program?
So we got a guy, our man from Golf Aficionado magazine, Rob Spellman, who's got a great job. He basically goes around to all these places and resorts and plays golf and stays and gets wined and dined and then writes about it. So my co-host Maddie's been trying to, tag along one of these times. We're still waiting for that to happen. So we'll find out about New Orleans from him. We've got Tour Edge VP of Marketing, John Claffey, coming on, and with the U.S. Senior Open going on, I mean, there's a whole host of guys that are playing clubs from Tour Edge on the Champions Tour. And then we'll run over to the John Deere Classic and talk to the tournament director or the executive director of the John Deere Classic, Claire Peterson. And then we'll do a little shop talking. So we'll talk all kinds of golf. I mean, PGA Championship for the women, you had Inji Chun, who shot 8 under yesterday. Everybody was wondering, was she on the same golf course as everybody? So great weekend of golf again.
Greeny, good stuff. Thanks for joining us today, man. We'll reconvene next Friday. Talk more with you.
All right, thanks, Cliff. Have a good weekend.
All right, Mark Greenhill's Golf Shop Radio Show. So that was from a couple hours ago, and a lot has changed since then.
Yeah.
Things that we talked about during that conversation have changed, including Harold Varner III absolutely lighting it up. He was dead in the water a couple hours ago and has had a tremendous round. He is now 5 under par for the tournament, 7 under par today. I believe that is the best score, tied for the best round today on Friday. So Harold was not going to miss 2 cuts in a row. He made damn sure of that here late in the afternoon, and he is going to cruise into the weekend. Now the problem is there is a golfer that is lapping the field, and that is Xander Schauffele, who is 14 under par.
My gosh.
5 shots ahead of second place. So as good as Harold's doing, he probably won't catch Schauffele this weekend, but he's tied for 24th now. So awesome turnaround for HV3 on this Friday. Another thing we have to update, the Hornets have hired a coach.
He's back.
Most known as a former ECU assistant basketball coach in 1999-2000, Steve Clifford.
That is news to me.
I love when I can break some news on somebody.
That is news to me.
1999.
Are you serious?
I didn't know that either.
Guys, are you sitting down?
Oh, my God.
Former East Carolina University assistant basketball coach Steve Clifford back in Charlotte.
Who was he an assistant under?
I guess that would be Bill
Bill
Adrian's first year.
Boom.
In 1999. So Steve Clifford back. Who cares? Chandler's like trying to find reasons to be okay with it, and he was like, well, technically he wasn't fired in Orlando. It was a mutual split.
He didn't want to be a part of our rebuilding team.
Yeah, right. You'd think if he was a great coach, he would have left Orlando. Okay, he wasn't fired. Fine.
He did take the Bobcats / Hornets to the playoffs.
I like Steve Clifford. Don't get me wrong. But it really is an example of just failing up, recycle, retread crap when you fire a guy and then bring him back a few years later. Like, doesn't it feel stupid? Stupid.
It's stupid.
It's stupid. The other options were Terry Stotts, fired in Portland.
Or retread Mike D'Antoni.
Fired 8 places. So whatever. It's all the damn thing.
Who cares? Let's take a break. Who cares? I won't start the music clip, Brock, whether you like it or not.
I'm waiting on you.
I'm starting it.
Thank you. We'll take a break, come back.
Who cares?
I wish it was Steve Rockefort.
Maybe he'll join the staff.
You never know. He's a traveling man. We'll take a break, come back. Maybe, did you say maybe he'll join the staff? Steve Clifford has a staff to put together. I know a coach that just got out of college basketball coaching that could potentially move to the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Duels? Anyone?
Coach K.
In the mood for a beer, but no alcohol in it? How about a no duels?
No duels.
How about a Joe Dooley sighting in Charlotte?
Dooley. Dooley.
All right, we'll take a break, come back. More to go. Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers through the year of COVID. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
In studio with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. What's new, Jeff?
For 2 years in a row, we've been voted #1 in Greenville, so we're super thankful. For 2022, we've decided to make it the year of the customer. We're taking more COVID health safety protocols with some personal test drives where, you don't have the salesperson riding along with the customer. It actually makes them a little bit more comfortable, and they can take a drive and kind of go where they want to go and drive it how they want to drive it.
Brown & Wood, your #1 dealership in Greenville and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Christie's Europub is the perfect place to relax, grab a bite, and enjoy a drink. Located in the heart of Greenville and just a few blocks from ECU's campus, Christie's offers lunch, dinner, and late night with live music every Sunday. Come and have brunch Monday through Friday from 11 to 3 or Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 4. Scratch cooking takes time, so relax and enjoy a pint at Christie's Europub today. For the latest information, check them out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit them online at christieseuropub.com.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kid store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. If you're looking for wings to be delivered to your home, Wings Over Greenville has you covered with no third party needed. Wings Over Greenville has its own in-house delivery service. Be sure to try the all-new tender sandwiches by ordering ahead on the Wings Over mobile app. Open till 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, Wings Over has everything to cure those late-night munchies. Give them a call at 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville. They deliver.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business today, come and see someone on our team at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard here in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, Offense Coordinator for ECU Football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on all our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. Join the over 56,000 followers today at PR927FM. And for the last time today, if you haven't on YouTube, subscribe and smash the like button.
Smash!
This is not a joke. Smash the like button. Here's Cliff Rock.
Smash it. All right, good job this week, gentlemen. Filling in for Shirley Rhodes, who will be back with us coming up on Monday. And we got a lot to catch her up on this week. Are You Smarter Than Wes? Great interview with Cliff Godwin back on Monday. We began our opponent previews with Harry Minium from Old Dominion and Chris Haymeyer from Campbell. Position preview with Stephen Igo talking running backs, and planning to hook up with voice of Navy Pete Medhurst, and who also is does Nationals games as well. Chan Man might talk about the Nats with Pete next week, and going to try to hook up with Tony Haynes as well. We're going to throw it down to Tony.
Let's get down to Tony
and talk some
Tony. What do you got?
Some pack football, as we'll have Chandler talk as Gary to Tony. You got to throw it to Tony.
Yeah, let's get down to Tony. Tony, what you got?
Planning to hook up with those guys next week. Also, we'll preview the wide receivers. That'll be an interesting one. We'll try to spend more time on the actual preview because I am curious as to what Igo has to say about who are the go-to guys. Is it a couple of newcomers? Is it Josiah Hatfield, who's been waiting in the wings? Is it a guess who's back? CJ Johnson? I mean, who's the guy at receiver? Is it a tight end? Is it Ryan Jones?
Is it 2022 spring game legend Josh Murphy?
Is it Charlie Murphy?
Charlie Murphy!
Is it the Charlie Daniels Band?
I mean, are we going down to Georgia to meet the devil?
A little bit for sure in terms of
I got
the
a lot
devil
of questions. And we'll talk about that next week. All right, good stuff. Wrapping up the week with a Hornets head coach, Steve Clifford. So there you go. Coming up tonight, what do we got on the sports agenda, boys? We got hockey. 8 o'clock.
Yoo-hoo!
Lightning at Colorado. Avalanche can win it. They can hoist the cup tonight with a win. Keep an eye on Harold over the weekend because he will be playing on into the weekend. Freddie Freeman back in Atlanta to take on the Braves. There's a few things going on this weekend in the world of sports. A lot of people around here going to be checking out the city championship, Greenville Little League going on. So enjoy your sports weekend, folks, and we'll be back with you Monday, 3 o'clock on an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live for the Chan Man and for Siege. I'm Clip Brock. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate